Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gamer Guardians podcast. I'm your host, Danny Martinez, the Drunken Guardian. Today we got Sober Guardian, Danny. He's here today.
Hey, there you go.
So we're going to have Randy here as well today. He'll be here soon. This is episode 101 of the podcast. Today we're going to talk about pretty much our top picks for 2023 since it's the new year, new month. It's January. So we got a lot of cool games coming out throughout the year, especially in the early part of the year. So we're going to talk about our early picks for what will be a great game. Hopefully we will like the games that we play. And I also actually wanted to pick out some games that we think might fail in 2023. I think that'll be a nice way to do some back and forth debating and stuff. So Danny, how you been? What you been
I'm
playing?
alright.
What you doing?
Haven't been playing much. I played a little bit of Crisis Core. That was not as fun as I remembered it. I
Yeah.
think because because of the PSP back in the day, to me that was the only game on it for me
Hmm.
that maybe I gave it a little more I don't know. And the storyline is actually really bad. The storyline gets good towards the end when they link it back up to the whole cloud and
Hmm.
basically link it up to the main storyline. But the story itself is really fucking generic and bad and almost humorous. Like it doesn't make
It's a lot of cutscenes.
it's a lot. It's mostly cutscenes. It's one giant cutscene,
Yeah.
which is surprising to PSP because back in the day, that is that was his nicest looking game. Because a lot of
Yeah.
those games weren't the best, but again, it was so many fucking cutscenes. But they did a good job at making it a remake. Like it,
I don't think
the,
it's a
the
remake, is it?
yeah,
Call it more of a remaster. It plays exactly the same.
remaster. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not a remake. It's remaster.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, they did a good job of doing a remaster. I mean, the graphics are really well done. The graphics look better than the cutscenes now, which is funny because
Yeah.
they didn't change the cutscenes. They left them alone. They were really good, so there wasn't much you had to do, but there's way more detail in the regular scenes now than there is in the cutscene, which I find to be funny, like textures in the faces, stupid things like that. That's kind of weird, but I mean that didn't bother me too much. Um, it's just they fixed the gameplay so it actually doesn't feel much of a toll as it did before. Because before they used to, like, people don't remember, but when you would do the stupid spinning thing where the jackpot thing whistling, every time it landed on something like sevens or whatever, it would do like a little cinema scene, like a scene almost.
Hmm.
So you constantly had these fucking videos, things that were going on, just
You couldn't
stopping
skip
your
those, could
gameplay.
you?
No, you couldn't skip them, so you
No.
constantly had them. I mean, and like you skip I think you skip like the limit type ones, but there's like the seven ups, the seven sevens you would get, or just a boost that gives you a magic boost. Like those types of things will be constant. And it was really irritating. I remember that. But so they fixed that, so it just basically runs in the back. Like you still get them, but they don't make a big deal about it. And you just got to pay attention that you have it, which is again makes the flow a lot better. And then they fixed like the way you would attack. They made attacking a single button versus having selected to attack, and then you had to press like you couldn't do a combo. It was just one slash. So again, it is a little more fun to play, and they added some like extra side mission things you can do
Hmm.
just to get like material and stuff like that, which again doesn't make it more interesting, but it still expands the game a bit, and you kind of like want to do those because it also helps you level too. So again, overall it was fine. It's just again, it's just one of those things like when you watch an old movie as a kid, this was a great movie, and you watch it and you go, oh, this was dated. Okay. So that's kind of how that was for me.
Anything else you playing?
I play a little bit of Destiny.
Of course.
I think that's it actually.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, it has been the holidays. I know you've been busy with holiday stuff.
Yeah, I haven't
So
even been
not
playing
much playing.
anything.
Me, on the other hand, since I don't really celebrate holidays too much, I've been obsessed with the Game Pass, and I played a lot. And I'm not saying like I played a lot, like I put in a lot of deep hours into each of these games. I have a list, but I got to play a little bit of each of them, and some of them are good, some of them are bad.
I saw you play that. What was the Rick and Morty gun game that was really fucking annoying?
Yeah. So that was the first one that I played recently on the Game Pass, High on Life, which was it was an okay game. It was a good it was a good generic game, like just a regular first person shooter. You get some powers. It's kind of Metroidvania ish with a couple of places that you can unlock once you like unlock some other powers and stuff. The humor was funny up to a point,
For
and
like the
then
first half an hour.
maybe I would say like the first 2 hours or so, and then like afterwards, it's like, all right, dude, like it's just like f bombs, like just constantly. And
Really
like
bad
me,
f bombs. Yeah,
yeah, and
and I
like
curse
me
a
and you,
lot.
we
So
curse, yeah, we curse a lot, but that was too much. Like that was way too much, and then like the fart jokes and the toilet humor and all that. Like I some of it was funny, but it was just it tried a bit too hard, and I think it's more for like those people who are much younger, who've never heard
yeah,
this
I can
kind
see
of
that.
stuff before.
In a game, I can never play Conker's Bad for a Day or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, never play. Oh man, go if anyone who haven't played Conquer's Bad for a Day, play that game. That was a funny game. So yeah, that was not bad though. That like because the gameplay is what kept me going. So the gameplay was good. The story was okay. There's actually a secret ending that I had unlocked too. And I didn't get to record that, unfortunately, because you could look up the gameplay on our YouTube channel if you wanted to look up the gameplay. What else? So I beat that game. I've been playing this game called Moon Scars, which is like a side-scrolling type of Demon Souls type game. That one's was okay. Skull Hero Slayer, that one's okay. It's kind of a roguelike game. Death's Door is another game I played. That's a lot of fun. That one is another. I guess you'd say it's a roguelike. You play like a little crow, and then like you're trying to like reap souls pretty much to try to open death's door. So that one's a lot of fun. It's like a little Zelda hack and slash type game. Signalis is a game that was pretty cool. That one was it's more like an isometric or top down third person shooter thing. Kind of like it actually plays a lot like Resident Evil. So it's like the original Resident Evil game, except there's more sci-fi, and you're fighting these weird infected people.
More sci-fi. You can't have more sci-fi than a fucking zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, if it's a zombie apocalypse in space,
Oh, there's more sci-fi.
it's sci-fi. Like it's literally in space, and it has all these like weird technology and stuff like that. Of course, you know Midnight Suns. I've been playing that a little bit. That
I
one.
played that. Well, I did play that for like.
What's your opinion on Midnight Suns?
I couldn't. I played it for like half an hour, and I couldn't. I didn't want to ever play it again. I mean, I
Why?
want to. I do want to play it again. Sorry. It problem
I know why. I mean, like, me and you both agree on this, but why?
because it looks like a PS2 game,
Yeah.
and you can't. I just beat God of War before I played that. I know we talked about that already. So you can't go from a voice acting of God of War to that shit. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
It sounds really bad. So I had to give it some time. So I'm thinking maybe that I played Final Fantasy and got that really bad voice acting on the main character. He's really bad, actually.
Yeah.
Um, he's actually really, he's like, everybody else is great in that Final Fantasy except for the main character. Anyway, so maybe after doing that, I can go back to it. But it's rough and it's like super generic storyline already in the beginning. It's and then the gameplay's fun. Don't get me wrong, but
Gameplay's great.
it's long and kind of time consuming. And I'm
Hmm.
like, if I was on a plane, I would love to play that on my Switch. That would be
Yeah.
great. I don't
Yeah.
know if it is for Switch, but that would probably be it. It feels like that kind of like that PSP kind of level Switch game. I see that doing
Yeah.
really well
The
on that.
animations, the character animations, the facial features,
It's
the
really
facial
bad.
animations,
Yeah.
the voice acting is not great. It's just I can hear my echo, by the way.
You good? That's
Yeah.
weird. I don't know how to fix that because I'm on headphones.
Huh. Um. I don't know what else. The gameplay is great though. It's a lot of fun and it's interesting. Like it's still a cool strategy ish game, just like XCOM, except yeah, it does play a little bit different when it comes to like placement of characters and stuff. It's not like a grid exactly. So that yeah, I just
And you can move them a little bit. It's like a card battling slash XCOM thing, which is kind of
yeah
cool.
yeah.
Build. I think you can build decks later, right?
You can build decks. Yeah
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
get that far. So, but and they have a lot of characters. Blade always the Midnight Sun type people. They don't really explain them
Hmm.
in the beginning. And then the part that I played, they just got out there like, Blade, I'm badass vampire.
Well, so what happens later
Moody.
on? What happens later on is you get to talk to them and develop like friendships. So you can
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in between missions you can talk to them and develop relationships and you get like little a meter like that increases and stuff and I don't know what you get out of that, but I guess that's something to kind of give some character development. But still that voice acting is just bad and like
It's really
I
bad.
don't want to do it. I don't want to do the talking parts. I just want to play the combat. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I,
So
when
so
I
go ahead.
when I first turned the game on, though, it super glitched out on me. Like it just started in like the middle of a mission that I had no clue what the fuck's going on.
I
But
think it did the same for me too.
only the voices. So it wasn't the same thing on the screen. Just heard
Uh,
voices. I had to turn it off and put it back on,
uh,
and then it redid it.
yeah. The next game I played, I actually paid for this one. Vampire Survivor. It was only like $3 because I kept on
Gotta
hearing
pay
about
for
it.
it.
I kept on hearing about it just everywhere on Twitter, everywhere on YouTube, like 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 video game critics. Like they were all talking about it. They're raving about it, and it looked like this cheap little flash game. And I was like, all right, it's $3. Let me see what this is about. And it is actually a lot of fun. You literally just have to use one button, and that's the D pad. That's it. So it's like a think of it as a twin stick shooter, except you don't have to shoot. It automatically shoots for you. All you have to do is move the guy and avoid all the obstacles. But it's so much shit. It's like a bullet hell game. There's a lot of stuff going on. So you're just moving around and you're collecting power ups as you're killing people and shooting people and stuff,
I
and
played
then
the
you get
game on.
stronger and stronger.
I played a game with Xbox, similar to that.
Mm,
Version of Xbox 360, not version, the Xbox 360,
mm-hmm,
add-on ones. It's just you move your guy around, and
mm,
automatically shoots. So it was two. You had to move him and move around in circles. So,
mm-hmm. Actually, I think I
but
paid a little bit more because I paid for the DLC. Yeah, because gives you extra like weapons and monsters and stuff. But
$4 instead of three.
probably. Well, I think more like $10, probably, maybe no, probably no more than 10. That's for sure. But the next game I played that was another one on the Game Pass. It's called The Descent, and that
Sounds familiar.
is that is like that's a twin stick shooter pretty much. It's a twin stick shooter, but it's also an RPG. So it's like one of those. Think of it as like a dungeon crawler, except it's sci-fi ish. You're shooting bullets and you've got like special, wouldn't say powers, but just special abilities that you could
Mm.
do. And then it seems like they focus a lot on like your character going into town a lot. So there's a lot of character development of all like the different characters. It's a really like well done world that you could explore when you're in town. But then when you're actually in the dungeons themselves, they feel a little bit empty, kind of. I guess kind of a little bit like Diablo, except not as many enemies. So that was okay. And then this one, Danny, I think you'd like it. Weird West.
Weird
That's
West.
another twin stick
Oh, I
shooter.
saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually almost bought that.
I think you'll like it. It's a twin stick shooter, but it's also an RPG.
Yeah.
The story is pretty good, but the gameplay is what makes it really fun. And it's like you like it brings out a map and all the nodes that you can travel to, and as you're traveling to the nodes you could like kind of like do like a random battle type stuff or you could like randomly like run into a special area or a secret area or something like that, and you can go to that stuff, and you can shoot anyone you want, like including innocent people, and of course that even changes the story. You can either like kill main characters and stuff, and it'll affect the story. Cops will come after you if you choose to be a criminal. You can steal from them. You can steal horses to make your like rides faster to the locations that you're going to, or you can play the good side, which is what I'm doing right now. So you're just playing like legit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that one a lot. I wish you had Xbox in the Game Pass so you could like just play it for
Yeah,
free. But I don't think it's a full price game though, right? I don't think it's $60.
it was for the PlayStation. No, I don't remember. No,
Yeah, I
I
know
don't
it's
think it
on
was either.
PlayStation Store.
I think that's what made me go. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, try it out though, or maybe I'll send you some footage or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. But and that's it. That's pretty much it, aside from the usual. So we can get to the next the actual topic, which is what we're looking forward to in 2023. Do you want to start with one of your first games?
I will start with one that I actually am looking forward, but was disappointed at the same time
Hmm.
when I found out last week it wasn't multiplayer.
Yeah,
Which you know what it is. It's
yeah.
just the Hogwarts game. I really
Hogwarts
I'm a big
Legacy.
I'm not the hugest Harry Potter nerd, but I do appreciate Harry Potter. I like that world. I like that stuff like that, magical whatever. You know, my kids get into it now, so we go to Universal. It's tough. So and we read the first book to them, and I've seen I've seen all the movies, but they've seen the first movie. Anyway, so the Hogwarts game I'm really looking forward to, but I was super disappointed that it was single player, and it probably was fucking well known for a long time now, but my dumbass didn't realize it
Oh no, I didn't know either until maybe 2 weeks
because
ago.
it looks like a fucking multiplayer game. It looks like a giant MMO.
Hmm.
That's what I assumed it was. I assumed it was Hogwarts MMO, you know, with PvP battle at least, and there's
Hmm.
nothing. There's no PvP, no nothing. It's just supposed to be a good like storyline driven game and a good world base and stuff like that. But now I'm starting to think this game's not going to be that long. It's going to be kind of short and more RP-ish, RPG-ish,
RPG.
where yeah, but like them trying too hard to make it an RPG type of thing now, and it not really working because it's still a single player game versus a multiplayer game. So I mean, I don't know. I have high hopes for it. I think it would be good, but I think it's also gonna be like a one and done. Like you play it, beat it, done. They're gonna try to make more stuff out of it, but it's just not gonna be
You
there.
think
I
they're gonna be
mean,
microtransactions? Actually, I know there'll be
I know
microtransactions.
they
I
will.
bet you,
Yeah,
because you can
they already
customize
have
your
all types. Of,
house. You can customize your
yeah,
house. You can make your
yeah,
character look certain ways. So I'm sure they'll have
yeah,
stuff to buy.
yeah. They have all types of skins and things for your house because it has like this magical, what they call it, some basically magical thing, like it's what you would need, everything you would
Hmm.
need in one spot type of thing. It's cheesy, but because of that, you can customize all types of shit. But again, it's gonna be fun. I'm like, I'm not, I no doubt in my mind that it's gonna be a good game.
Hmm.
I just don't think it's gonna be the mind blowing game that everybody else wanted. I
Maybe they'll
think
add
if they made it,
multiplayer later.
yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's that type of game that you can't really add multiplayer yet.
Hmm.
You know, maybe PvP like battle
Hmm.
or something. But that's about it. And there's no Quidditch, which is stupid. Like
Yeah,
in a game like this that has flying, you can fly in a broom, fly in a um, was it like
was it
a
like a
Pegasus? What do
griffin
they
or
call it?
something? Yeah.
Yeah, Griffin.
Uh,
Yeah, there are Griffins and stuff like that. But there's no Quidditch, which is weird. And I can see that being an add-on or a DLC because I can see people wanting to just
you got to
do
leave
that
some stuff
all
out.
day.
You got to.
Yeah, so that I could definitely see, but
Yeah.
so so that's my first one.
So one of my top ones, anyways, because I know when this game comes out, it'll be time consuming. Starfield for the Xbox. Starfield, you know Starfield?
Yeah,
Elder Scrolls on space.
Yeah, I remember the Elder Scrolls series.
Yeah. That I'm looking forward to that. I'm still cautiously optimistic about it being as big as they say it is, because they're saying
Hmm.
that like it's like 1,000 planets or 100 planets, and you could visit all of them at any point in time. Like you can travel through space and visit them, they're all different in some way. So we'll see how that is, because you remember we had those promises with No
Yeah.
Man's Sky back in the day.
Yeah.
So we'll see,
I,
but
I think it's either going to be too big for me anyway, because Elder Scrolls took it's too big for me.
yeah.
So I think it's either going to be too big for me, or here's my number one prediction. I don't think the game's going to work properly when it first comes out. We have a bunch of glitches and bugs. That's what I really think.
It won't be a Bethesda game without glitches and bugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be classic Bethesda. There's going to be tons of glitches, tons of bugs. It's going to be fucking Cyberpunk all over again. That's what I really
No,
think.
I wouldn't go that far. I think I'm sure
I'm
it'll be playable, but we'll still catch some things.
no, I'm
That's what
calling
you
it.
think? Okay.
Calling it Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
They announced it too early. They announced it like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Pushing it out now. It's gonna get pushed out too
I,
soon.
you know what, with your prediction, actually, even though we're talking about 2023 games, my prediction is it's probably going to get delayed again.
That's true. Yeah.
I think it's just going to get delayed. We'll see how that goes, because I don't know. Bethesda's got to kind of redeem themselves after 76, Fallout 76. So I don't know. I feel like they're going to be a little bit more careful with Starfield, especially because it's a new franchise.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
Any other games for you?
Obviously, Forsaken's coming out. Forspoken, whatever the
Forspoken.
fuck.
Yeah.
Keep doing Forsaken. I don't know why. But that's coming out. That should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I know you're not 100% thrilled, but
Mm-mm.
I think that's going to be the next game to really entertain me.
Mm.
Because I really have nothing. And I think Hogwarts is going to be fun too, but I think Forspoken's going to be really good. We'll see what happens with Forspoken though. Like, it all depends on the storyline for me. But I like the gameplay. I have fun with the gameplay. It's unique and you have to get used to it. So once you get used to it, I think it's just me trying to play around and be badass magical girl.
Yeah. That skill tree seemed pretty big. Like I'm
Yeah,
hoping there's really a lot of customization you could do with like a build,
yeah, and
different
I know
builds.
that they already have like I see different like armors and stuff like that to pump you up and buff up your spells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So all that should be fun. You know, like I don't think that's really gonna let me down at all.
Mm. Yeah, coming out soon too, so we'll see how it is.
Yeah,
Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is another one of mine.
it's coming out for
I
the Switch.
it's it's Zelda game. It's only coming out for the Switch.
Oh, yeah, that's a stupid question. They haven't announced any, like, they need to announce a fucking Switch Pro
There
PS5
are
version.
rumors. So, I
I
mean,
know.
you know how I am with rumors. I try not to talk about them on the show, but the rumor is that the Tears of the Kingdom is supposed to also release with a new Switch version.
Switch, a new
Yeah,
type of
because
Switch.
because Tears comes out in May 12th, and there was like a supposed leak photo of a new Zelda console,
Hmm.
Switch, a Switch version of Zelda, like a skin or whatever the hell you want to call it,
Yeah.
that comes with the game, and supposedly it's like a new OLED model or something. But I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
got my first OLED. I like it. I mean, I don't know what to compare it to because I never had, but,
Hmm.
you know, works good. It's fast. When it's hooked up to my Ethernet, like I have no problems.
Yeah.
I did Kingdom Hearts. I streamed that. That worked really well. You know,
Okay.
remember the Kingdom Hearts is only
Stream
cloud
only. Yeah.
only.
Cloud version. Yeah.
Yeah, and that worked out. I couldn't tell a difference.
Hmm.
So I think with the new Ethernet OLED, that makes the difference versus having to do bad Wi-Fi because it doesn't. It's plus like 30 gigs, 30 megs or whatever, some low shit like that. and it like boosts it up from like 30 to 180, like something like crazy like that. But I
Hmm.
looked it up because I have really good Wi-Fi. I
Yeah.
have really good Wi-Fi. Um, so it's actually Wi-Fi. What they call it, Ethernet 6 or Wi-Fi 6, some shit like that.
Cat
Where it's
6.
no, if I recall, it has something special on my Wi-Fi box, and only the PS5 supports it.
Hmm.
So PS5 actually, my PS5 now runs faster Wi-Fi than it does the Ethernet. So I disconnected the Ethernet
Okay.
and I
That's
tested that
funny.
up too. Yeah, because of the whatever this special thing that I can't remember now, but
Yeah.
know somebody in the chat will probably find it or whatever eventually. But so
Did you like the Jedi Fallen Order game?
yeah, I love that for games. I'm looking forward to that. There's another one
Yeah.
on Survivor, I think it's
Survivor's
called.
on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely. I love that game. I had a really fun time with that game.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't after
I
I
don't.
did it.
Did you find it
I
to be Dark Souls ish? Because like I didn't. I actually
no,
found it
I
kind of
said that.
easy.
No, I said that. I said I don't feel like it's Dark Souls at all. Just
Yeah.
because it's because you save.
It's got Dark Souls mechanics, kind of, but it's
Yeah,
not
but
the difficulty that you would expect.
no. And in the beginning, it is. Don't get me wrong. When you first starting,
Yeah.
it's a little difficult. You die quite a bit, but it's really quick to not die. You
Yeah.
know, you learn not to die. You learn how to cheese them a bit. And that force fucking push stab thing like saves my life. You know, it was like just cheesed out everybody. You like force grab and you stab, but you just felt really cool playing that game.
Hmm.
You know, like doing the double lightsaber that gets you pretty early, or you know, or two lightsabers, dual wielding the two lightsabers. It's just they did a good job, I think, with that game, just making you feel like a Jedi. You know, and the storyline I
Yeah.
thought was really good.
Yeah.
I like
Story
the
was good too.
storyline. You know, I like you have to go back to get your light crystal, and they do all that because they've always talked about that in the books and everything, and how that works. So that's it's interesting that they followed all that. The fucking Darth Vader scene at the end was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, he was so badass.
He was so fucking badass. He was like Rogue One badass.
Yeah.
Like they took Rogue One and said, okay, we're gonna continue that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a beast with the Force. He's gonna take up like his whole fucking place with the Force. And it was like, oh, like wow, this is actually really. And the battle with him was really fun.
Hmm.
I mean, the girl was really hard. I kind of cheesed her by doing this. I found out if you just keep jumping, attacking her, you can cheese her.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, so I just didn't die from her because I found that out by mistake early. Like
Hmm.
I had saw that in a video or something before I even played the game, and I just kind of remembered it.
Hmm.
But other than that, I'm running around and I looked for every fucking like weapon or whatever, like all the weapon parts and pieces, whatever that shit is. Like I did, like I went around that game and I played it a lot. I went to all different worlds to try to do everything I can. Like I wanted to,
Hmm.
I almost platinumed it. I think I needed like a few more things that I didn't feel like doing.
Hmm. What? Anything else for you?
Yeah, of course, Final Fantasy fucking
16.
16. I mean, come on, that's supposed to come out in June, middle of the year.
June 22nd.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in June, so I'm super excited for that. It's supposed to be phenomenal storyline and gameplay and everything like that. I mean, I am disappointed that there's no world travel type of thing. It's just like almost level based,
I guess
kinda.
they're all focused more on the narrative than the gameplay at this
Yeah,
point.
but it's supposed to. They everybody keeps saying that it's a unique way of how they did it. Yes, it is kind of like that level based, you pick a level type of thing, but you don't really feel that at the same time.
I don't know
You
even know
know,
what that means.
again, it's hard to explain. It's like the way they do it, it's so smooth, and because you're doing this big story arc, you're kind of going from one place to another based on the story because the story pushed you there. Versus you really realizing, okay, you're just doing one level after the other. And the
Mm.
levels are much bigger than you would think because it's PS5 and it's utilizing the full power of the PS5. So the levels are much bigger and you can roam around and do all this shit. let you a lot of stuff that you want to do. So yes, it's level based, but you don't feel like it's level based because it's so big.
Mm.
So they kind of explained it, and everybody keep playing it, so it explains it. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I really am.
I like this that aspect of turning into the summons.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
wondering how that works out and how that plays into the story.
yeah. Me too. I'm curious on what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think there'll be a whole bunch of different ones, but I want to know if they unlock any different ones. You know what I mean? Like if there's some side ones you can do besides the main story ones, like a Bahamut or whatever. Knights it around. That'd be cool. I'm waiting for Knights it around.
That never
Yeah.
did come back after 7, did it?
No,
Yeah.
no.
That
Then
was a
then
cool summon.
that was only in seven.
Yeah.
They never brought that in.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that.
I think the Knights of the Round was supposed to be representative of a summon that the planet had made in order to protect itself. Like
Hmm.
aside from the weapons, the giant weapons that it
Yeah.
created and stuff. I think that was part of the lore in 7, which is why we only saw it there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Obviously, I think they haven't confirmed it yet. They never confirmed the actual date, but Final Fantasy Remake Part Two is also supposed to be coming out this year too.
This
So
year,
they
I
said
hope so.
they said winter. So and that's
Yeah.
what last time they did the trailer when they showed Sephiroth, it said winter. So chances good it'll come out. They like to put games out in around October sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Price is Core, they came out in October. Um, so I'm hoping, and I think that's why they did. Shoot me, sorry. I think that's why they did Crisis Core first, so you have it and you know it, and then okay, now they're gonna
Oh, definitely.
they want to introduce Zach and everything and the
Yeah.
storyline, get to know him, who he was, all that stuff, his relation with Aerith, whatever, and then fucking get into it because I think there's gonna be more with Zach involved as a character,
Hmm.
just a little more. So should be interesting. Like I'm really
Randy,
excited for all those.
Randy, welcome.
Oh, can you hear me?
Just
Yes.
barely.
Just barely. Okay.
Testing,
Do you
testing,
know what
659. This is all the behind the scenes stuff we do
Shadow
first.
Zone is?
All right, so another game for me as well is Redfall. I don't know how you feel about that one so much, but I'm excited for it.
Which one was Redfall?
That was the arcane game, the guys who did Dishonored and stuff. So you're fighting vampires on an island. We thought it was like Left 4 Dead type of game,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah. I am looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, with Redfall, I remember
I
originally
remember
when we
Redfall.
saw the trailer, we thought it was like a Left 4 Dead type thing, just with vampires and stuff. So we weren't that impressed with it. But now that we got like actual gameplay, yeah, I like that's one of those games I'm excited for right now because I like arcane games. Those are all
Hmm.
fun. So Randy, we got you now. How you been?
Hi, I am okay. Good night.
You've been sick for the past 2 weeks.
Yes, and also now that I recovered, I am now just like really tipsy.
Mm.
In all honesty,
Took advantage of 2 weeks worth of drinking,
of not drinking.
not
Of not
drinking. Yeah.
drinking. Yes.
So we're talking about 2023 games that we're looking forward to. Towards the end of the episode, we'll start talking about some games that we think might fail in 2023. So just keep those in mind. But are there any games you're looking forward to?
I have no idea what's being released this year, honestly. So
Well,
what?
we mentioned Starfield, we mentioned Legend of Zelda, we mentioned
Oh,
Hogwarts Legacy,
Legends 2,
Legends 2.
Legend of Zelda 2.
Yeah, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom.
What's yeah that
Yeah,
that that I'm
yeah.
looking forward to. Link looks very attractive. That's one
Oh,
thing.
that's right. He's very handsome in this one.
Yes,
He's
his hair is longer.
he's a full grown fucking.
Wait, hold on. How
I
do I?
can't. We can't see shit.
There we go.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. Link looks. The character design's fucking awesome. I do love the mechanic of the floor shit, especially where it's like you could like seep in through the floor or
hmm.
drop in through the ceiling. That that's some fucking next level shit, honestly. Um, I am interested to see what it like kind of goes on with, because technically it's supposed to be a prequel of sorts. Like in terms of the timeline.
As I've heard, it's a sequel.
No. I mean, Breath of the Wild one. Like Breath One is supposed to be like kind of a precursor of sorts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope that they do build on what they did do with Breath, because Breath was actually pretty fucking advanced for the year that it came out. There was so many mechanics, and the thing that I love about it the most, like I
Oh.
anyways, we'll figure that out in a second. But I don't play it now. I haven't played it in quite a while, honestly, but I do constantly see on like YouTube, Instagram, and even Twitter of people finding new ways to play the game, like different ways
Yeah,
to kind of
it's
like use
still
mechanics.
so experimental. People are still
When
messing
did it
with
come
that
out?
game.
2017, 2016?
Yeah, something like that.
So now, about 6 to maybe 8 years later, like people are still discovering ways to just like fight bosses, to just like kind of traverse the entire map. It's it's really good to see the dedication behind like that group. So hopefully they retained that experimentalism throughout this sequel. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I
I
hope
mean,
they
either
add
way, I'm
some new
definitely gonna play it.
mechanics. I hope they add some new stuff to it because I don't want it to be a copy and paste of Breath of the
Oh,
Wild. Aside
I
from like
definitely
just
think
having a sky
the
level.
ceiling and
Yeah.
yeah, because it seemed like Skyward Sword, Breath and Wild, traversal in between, and whatever the fuck Link has going on with his arm, that's like looking Twilight Princess as fuck.
Yeah, even
And
in Breath of the
personally,
Wild, they hinted at some stuff from linking
Twilight,
Twilight. Yeah,
because honestly, like Twilight was, in my opinion, the best fucking one. It's not just me being like an edgy fucking emo kid that like listens to MCR and shit, but it's just like it seemed really fucking good. Like everything about it, it was more flesh. Because if you put it from the N64 things, like yeah, Majora's Mask was the darkest of the pair, but it didn't have that depth of fucking of Twilight. Because Twilight, it was something about it felt super fucking raw, because like Ganondorf is supposed to be the all evil, but then for him to get just like snapped out of fucking existence, like he literally got Thanos snapped by the big bad of
hmm
Twilight Princess for him to take over, and it's like holy shit, like he's not the end all be all. There is something bigger and badder, and it can get worse.
hmm
Like so, I do want to see what they do with this now, but yeah, I think that's the only like new Switch game that I would fucking play,
But
because
didn't
like
they like part of the story? Isn't it like Gandor is like Matrix and Neo and Smith? Like you can't have one. They literally said like you can't have one without the other type of thing.
oh no, you can't have one without the others, because it's supposed to be wisdom is Zelda, then what is it, bravery and strength for the Triforce?
strength. Yeah, no,
There's
wisdom.
wisdom, strength, and what's the third one?
Ooh, I gotta look that up.
Idiocracy. No.
Idiocracy. But
Yeah,
no, the whole
power,
thing is
wisdom,
that
and courage. So of
oh,
course,
power was encouraged.
courage is
Okay,
Link.
so
Wisdom
yeah,
is Zelda, and power is
and power
Ganon.
is Ganondorf.
Yeah.
It's like all three of them tie into each other, and it's like even if one of them goes away, like it will persist. Like they have to be within the same realm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like you're always gonna have that threat of Ganondorf. Like no matter how strong everybody else is, he's always gonna be.
There's different iterations though, because it's not just Ganondorf. There's Ganon. There's
Yeah.
what was the one from Link to the Past? He had a different name, Argonim or something like that. There's different iterations, but it's like Randy said, like there's always just gonna be one that holds that power part of the Triforce, or at least trying to. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
so
it's always just like a reincarnation throughout the timeline.
yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, Link kind of prevails, but at some point, Link dies, Link gets brought back, and Ganondorf also gets brought back, as well as Princess Zelda.
Aside from that, well, we mentioned Hogwarts Legacy. We mentioned Jedi Survivor. I mentioned Redfall just now. Danny mentioned Final Fantasy 16. Any
And
of
remake
those?
part
Any of
two.
those for you?
16. I am interested in Survivor because it's fucking the guy from Shameless with the beard, and
What
that's
guy from
really
Shameless with the beard?
no the actor that plays the main character in what the fuck
Cal
was it? Rogue.
Kestis.
Yeah, the one that plays Cal. He's the gay brother in Shameless. He's the one that takes it
Oh,
from Mickey.
yeah. He's up the Joker too.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. He's also the Joker.
All
Jesus
right.
You
Christ.
never seen that show? That's
Oh,
an awful fucking show. Man.
so Randy, so thankfully you just got here because I had another pick that I hope that you're excited for. Wild Hearts, which is the Monster Hunter clone. I know you saw the trailer for it. Wild
Wild
Hearts.
Hearts.
Yes, I showed you the trailer for it. It was it's like Monster Hunter except like more like feudal Japanish, more Asian
Oh.
themed, and like you
Yeah,
use a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
contraptions, a lot of
They had the piggy
machines and stuff.
in the trailer, right?
Yeah, like a giant pig.
Yeah.
I like that game a
I'll
lot.
play
That
it.
looks really good.
Yeah. I thinking about it really, it's very Neo Monster Hunter esque. Neo being like Neo 1, Neo 2, like Feudal Japan, fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like it will be interesting, like really hard for no fucking reason, but also like that kind of is what Monster Hunter is. Like it's a difficult game
What I'm looking
if
forward
you
to it
don't understand it.
because it's so. So the thing is the way. If I was a huge Monster Hunter fan, I probably wouldn't look forward to this just because I would stick with Monster Hunter. But I'm looking forward to this because what sets it apart is that it seems like it's a lot more fast paced. Monster Hunter is a lot more slow, like methodical. You're thinking through like your like not even just your attacks, but like
All right, I'm
do
gonna
you
cut
have
you
to
off
do you
there.
have to do every single like freaking like stance and change ups and all this stuff? Like it seems
No,
like
I thought it was pretty fast
With
paced.
Wild Hearts, it seems a lot more fast paced than Monster Hunter.
I, I play Hammer in Monster Hunter. There is no really thinking about stances or like
Well,
kind of
I'm
what you might
saying though,
say.
I'm not saying your particular gameplay, but I'm saying, but
No.
if you
I
think about
understand
it
that.
though, there's all these different like mechanics and intricacies in each weapon that you have to master. I'm not saying this is all bad. This is like this makes the game great actually, but I'm saying though, like some people, it's not receptive to some people because of its slow intricacies. You know what I mean? So like switching
Oh,
between
okay.
switching between like your what was it, the sword and shield one,
Hmm.
or the one that turns into a freaking axe, or god
The
damn, it's
charge
been
axe.
such a while, the charge axe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things. So and then on top of that, when you're attacking, you have to stop, you have to attack, you have to like measure things, you have to make sure you're using the right attack, and then like when a monster decides to roll away like 5 miles down the road, then you have to like stop and do all these different things and then run back and chase them. So this one, to me, it seems like it skips all that. It's more about the action than like the hunting.
With Monster Hunter, it could go any which way because you could either kind of have straight action or you could have like strategy behind it where based on what weapon you pick, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this move, this move, this move, then go into kind of like a defensive posture, like lance, gun lance, great sword, and hunting horn. They are the most defensive fucking ones. Hunting horn especially because they have to stand in the back line and kind of provide buffs,
Yeah.
so they can't be frontline so much. If it's all action, I could kind of see the lack of appeal in this one, but at the same time, like if you make it kind of seem like the child of Neo and Monster Hunter, it will be fun because Neo is fast paced enough to not be a chaotic Dark Souls game,
Hmm.
but its own kind of thing. Like Koei Tecmo, they're known for what is it, the fucking Warrior series, like Samurai Warriors, Dynasty Warriors, fucking hack and slash, whatever. For them to have done anything close to like the Souls, it's different. It's similar, but it's different. So for it to be more of an adaptation of something like that, like there is going to be some change. There are going to be similarities, but there will be things that are definitely fucking different, and it's worth giving a shot at least.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be a
Like,
Monster Hunter killer at all.
oh no,
There's too
not at
much of
all, not at all.
a, yeah, there's too much of a community, and the games are still great. So like I don't think it would
Yeah,
kill
like
it.
because if you were to ask me, would you rather play fucking Wild Hearts or Monster Hunter Unite? I want to play Unite,
Yeah.
hands down, on the fucking PSP. Like I will play that jank ass fucking handheld 3 polygon ass game before I play this shit.
Danny, you got any other games for 2023?
Yeah, I had Diablo 4.
Oh shit, that was gonna be my next one too.
No.
Oh my god, you
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
so in sync!
Oh
Wow, that's
yeah. Oh
cute.
my god.
The drunk and the sober guardian. Wow.
We get that when we play sometimes. Like, right? Oh my god,
Well,
the guys' names are like it's the same.
you're
Yeah.
like, wow.
No, we
you
and we
didn't plan
don't,
that
and
out.
we'll
Really?
fuck with
Yeah.
them too. Oh yeah, we don't even know each other.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking Diablo 4, man. I hope they don't. I hope they don't mess things up when it comes to like. I don't know if they said they're doing microtransactions or anything because they really fucked things up in the beginning of Diablo 3 with like the microtransactions and like that the auction shop and all that. So I hope they don't get super greedy and just try to ruin the game for everybody. But I love the way this game looks and it's open world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited because it's open world. I love the character models. Like the games have always been super fun. Like the way the powers and all that. Like they haven't failed since part one. Like part one had that. They had the necromancer. The last one, it was just have always been phenomenal. And their games materials always been really fun too.
Hmm.
You know, and they've found ways to like increase it, and people still play the other one. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm super excited for that. It just goes to show, a good game would just cover all the bad shit that your fucking place has done.
Randy, you better be playing this game so we could all play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I will.
Oh yeah. All right, so Diablo 4 is another one. I have also Crime Boss, Rocket City. You guys heard of that one yet?
No,
Nope.
So Crime Boss, Rocket City. When they showed the trailer for the game, I thought it was like some bullshit GTA clone. Hold on, let me make sure I check this properly. But it's a first person like action game or action shooter game. And it's very story driven. So it's got a huge cast. It's got Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah,
God, he's alive.
it's got Danny Trejo.
Well,
It's
been
got
sure and
it's
everything,
got
but I don't
Danny
count.
Trejo. It's got Danny Glover. It's got Michael Rooker. It's got Kim Basinger, and it's got Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
I met him during
freaking
construction.
crazy. So like this is very like story driven. It's kind of like people are comparing it kind of like to like Payday. So it's a heist type of game.
So
So
it's Payday with Vanilla Ice.
it's Payday with Vanilla Ice.
So this is my question in regards to this game. Are the characters set in a class, or is it kind of like a skill tree like Payday was, where you
No,
can play
you're not
any
picking any of
character
these
with
guys.
skill? What?
They're part of
But
the
I want to be Vanilla
story.
Ice playing it.
These are all voice actors for the story in the game.
I could pick Vanilla Ice.
You can pick Vanilla Ice.
So so Vanilla Ice is voicing a character.
His specials
Yeah.
ninja rap.
Ninja.
He's gonna be like, now
rap.
stop.
Everybody stops. Yeah.
Everybody stops.
No, yeah, they're all
Never
just characters that you interact with.
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
you can't play as the character that Vanilla Ice voices.
Unfortunately, not.
All right, never mind. I don't want it.
I'm excited
I'm
for
sorry.
it because it looked like a really fun heist movie type story. So I
Yeah,
really
so
want to
just
see
put Payday.
where this goes. Yeah.
Payday 3 is going to come out at some point. Fucking, I saw
Oh
the
yeah, I'm
release
sure.
for that.
Yeah.
That was no. They have a
Yeah,
trailer
yeah.
out and shit.
Yeah. But do they have an
I-
exact date yet? Because I know I've seen the trailer.
I don't remember. I know that I played Payday 2 fucking religiously. It was horrifyingly just stealth based for me.
Yeah.
I had no armor, but no detection either. So it was just like wild as hell. I'm actually very disappointed that I can't be the character that Vanilla Ice voices. I would have loved that. Have any of you guys seen Cool as Ice? Like, this is an actual question.
No. I don't even know what that is. Is
No.
that a
No,
movie?
do you know what Cool as Ice? Oh, well, there's that. All right, so Cool as Ice is a movie that Vanilla Ice starred in, which is one of the most nonsensical fucking things that has ever been released. Um, it has to be just as bad as Mark Wahlberg's workout video.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So within the first 15 minutes, Vanilla Ice drives his motorcycle over a fence, almost crashes into a girl that's riding a horse, and he doesn't even get her name, right? So 10 minutes after that exchange, which is super fucking awkward, someone asks him about said girl, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's the chick that drives the horse."
With
Like
that
what?
accent?
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%, 100%. So after that, 15 minutes later, like he meets up with her and whatever the case, he drops her off at home, and then he gets into a parking lot fight with just random fucking thugs. Like it is just Vanilla Ice jerking himself off for the camera. It is the best worst movie that you could possibly fucking watch.
Hmm,
I highly recommend it. Like you need to watch it. That's how bad it is.
probably not.
No, you need to, please. Just have like 3 drinks in the midst of this. Like every 20 minutes, just have a drink. It's so fucking garbage, but it's really good.
Any other picks, guys?
Um,
Have
God of War Ragnarok.
Ah, yes, the sequel.
That's me.
All right.
is Atomic Hearts.
Oh, actually, all
Oh
right.
yes, I saw the really horny trailer of that
Ah.
one. That's fucking weird. I don't know if it's going to be a good game. I don't know if it's going to be a bad game.
So
It just seems like something that's too good to be goddamn true, and all I can do is wait.
I want to get into our failures, what we think is going to fail for 2023, because that is my number one pick.
Atomic Hearts.
Atomic Hearts.
It's
It's funny you
again.
mentioned that.
It seems like it's too good to be true. I have faith in it, but I also have no.
You
faith
know,
in it.
you know why I don't have faith in it? Because
Why?
it's been late. It's been delayed so many times, and it's changed so many concepts that I feel like it's gonna have that curse. You know, that curse that some games have, that when they're delayed so much and they change so often, that it's just a mash of just nonsense. And that's what I worry about with that game. So I
I
think
get
I
it.
think it's gonna try really hard to be kind of like BioShock in this weird Russian setting, but it's
BioShock, Fallout, Metro, Stalker,
yeah, it's too
and System
much.
Shock.
It's too much. It's way too. It's trying to be very different and very much like other games at the same time.
Because this is the thing when it had its trailers initially and its concept trailers and concept art, whatever the fuck, it seemed very much like I think it's gonna go the same way as Scorn.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yes.
the entire
Scorn.
fucking thought. Because Scorn,
I was
it had
so
really good
mad.
ideas. I had high hopes for it because it was this really gruesome, fucking nasty flesh horror kind of fucking
And it
ordeal.
wasn't even a
Like
first person shooter.
no,
It was a fucking puzzle game.
yeah, it was it
It
was
was a first person adventure
Portal with
game.
gore.
Yeah. It just they marketed this all wrong and it got delayed so many times. It was like good 5, 6, 7 years. Like it's just
Yeah,
constantly delayed and it
because
just
the
turned
initial
into
thing with
something.
Scorn, you know Agony.
No.
Okay, so Agony, it's a first person game. I don't even want to consider it a shooter,
Hmm.
but pretty much you are a lost soul within the depths of hell that you have to kind of find your way out, right? So you go through different circles, all through all the pits and shit. But it's more so an excuse for the developers to kind of portray their own satanic versions of sexuality and just like vaginas because
So
the main
Hellraiser.
monster, yeah, Hellraiser, but like D class, not even like a B horror type. It's like D horror. So the main thing that follows you around is just a titty monster with like a vagina for a head that will like cut. It'll OTK you, just like one turn kill. It catches you, you die. No big fucking deal. It's a really terrible Outlast, and I think
Uh,
that I'm terrified that Atomic Heart will end up being Scorn, Agony, Outlast, and a really bad version of Stalker and Metro all in one.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that it showed it in kind of like a very post-apocalyptic sense, and
Yeah.
now it's showing it in a more kind of fleshed out dystopian environment where there are still people around, and it's more like a government kind of like, oh, like Skynet, like a
Yeah.
very much Skynet kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that doesn't portray fear, like, because if you want to do Skynet, Terminator does it well because it's the slow progression of a human genocide, whereas this one it's just like, oh, people died, fucking robots taking over, you're in the middle of it but in a unclear middle. So what are you going to do with that? You could either go into, oh, humans are going to prevail or humans are going to die, and that doesn't really sell that well because you want either gloom or you want heroism from it. Like, you can't just play the kind of middle ground. Like, the only thing that did it well had to be Infamous, where you were either a dickhead or you were fucking
Well, that
fantastic.
was part of the
But
gameplay mechanics is
yeah,
you
no,
chose
no,
those
no, no,
things.
no.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. But we don't know if in Atomic Heart it's going to do that as
Yeah.
well, where it's like, oh, you could do good things to save humanity or bad things to help out Skynet.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, oh, it's probably going to be a Skynet mainly. But
So
maybe.
Danny, I mean, do you still feel like you're excited for that one?
Yeah, I am, regardless of what
Yeah.
people are saying. Um, I mean, games go through a lot of shit, a lot of fucking changes before they pop out to what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no games that's ever gonna be exactly what they're trying to do right away. Just the nature of it. We just because we heard some information, rumors behind the scenes doesn't make it be true. I think it has good premise, a good.
Well, it's not rumors. It's clear. It's been delayed a million times, and there have
Well,
been
yeah,
reports that
but
if
every game,
they've changed story and mechanics and
yeah.
art style and a lot of stuff.
But I think that happens a lot. Like, I don't think that's an uncommon thing to happen.
Well, there's a
I
difference
think we just
between
don't
being
hear
delayed.
about
There's a
it.
difference between being delayed a year or two or three versus 5, 6, or 7.
I mean, you had Cyberpunk got delayed like 14 fucking years and it still came out like shit.
Yeah, well,
So,
that's my point
You,
exactly. That's my
you
point
also
well,
had
exactly.
Duke Nukem Forever
Duke
delayed.
Nukem
no,
got
dude, nothing
delayed
was bad.
that just that much as well, and that's what I worry about with games like that and Scorn. Like me and Randy mentioned Scorn. Scorn took a very long time to release, a very long time, and they marketed that game as a first person shooter, and it was nothing of the sort. So I mean,
Uh,
not to
It's
say that we're
puzzle
right and
based
this is gonna be
with
a
like
bad
two
game.
decisions that like change your fucking game, but not really.
Yeah.
yeah.
Not to say that we're right and this is going to be a bad game, but I'm saying that the reports are true. It's been delayed a million times and it's changed a dozen times. So
Yeah,
that's
because
what
if
we worry
anything,
about.
I'm pretty sure that Atomic Heart was announced as I was getting out of high school, and that was like what, fucking almost 6 years ago? No, almost 8 years ago. Holy
Last
shit!
year.
Wait a minute, almost 8 fucking years ago. Like, Atomic Heart was announced. Like, they
Yeah,
had
I
these
didn't
like
hear about Atomic
breakdowns.
Heart till the PlayStation 5 came
The
out.
PlayStation 2.
No, when the PlayStation 5 came out, they announced it as one of its, hype
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Because what
So,
they had for Atomic Heart was just like those clowns that had the buzzsaws in them that like would rotate and whatever, and then it was just like whatever they decided to progress for their like developmental shit. Like, that's what they released.
Yeah. I hope it works out. I hope it plays good. And at least I'll get to play it for free on Game Pass. So I'm still excited for it, but I still think it's not going to do well, especially on
No.
other consoles if you have to pay for it.
Yeah, I honestly think it'll do worse than Cyberpunk. In all honesty, like, Cyberpunk was like pretty fucking rough on release, but they definitely made up for it. And there have been sales, plenty of sales, that would kind of like incite people to kind of play it. They had the show, which would 100%, it fucking like, it got me into wanting to buy it. But
did you?
no, not yet. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
wait.
don't do it. Don't do
No, no,
it.
no, no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So I'm like a super fucking lazy piece of
Actually,
shit
maybe.
that will not get into some shit unless I'm like kind of Stockholmed or like gun to my head fucking done it. Like
Mhm.
Destiny, like fucking drunk over here. He had to almost shoot me to play Destiny 2.
What made you decide to play it all of a sudden?
Well, maybe decide the fact that actually I can tell you hand like fucking 100%. You two playing it was like tipping me into the point of doing it, and then two of my coworkers at one of the jobs that I have, they were like, "Oh, dude, do you play Destiny?" And I was like, No, I played D1, but I didn't play D2. Like I fucking hated like vanilla." And they were like, "Oh, but it's really good now." And I'm like, "Yeah." One of my friends told me that it's good now. Do you think I should play it? And they were like, "Yeah, fucking." We both play it, so you should definitely join. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll play. The first 3 fucking weeks,
How
not
long
a
have we
single
known each other? And I'm
I
mad that
know.
these two
This is some
strangers,
random fucking,
some random
like,
fucking
no,
people
right.
just
because,
convinced you.
because here's the thing. No, it's not that they convinced me. It's the fact that it wasn't 2 people. It was 4 people that I know and have actual confidence in that were like, do it. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Because it's like, you two were convincing me, but at the same time, I was like, you know what, fucking, I'm just gonna fucking play like Kingdom Hearts and League of Legends and whatever. I'm gonna chug this shit right now because I said Kingdom Hearts. But it was like, it's like you guys
I,
were pushing me to the
I'm
edge,
not gonna lie.
but you weren't
I never pushed you on it. I never pushed anybody in this
No,
game.
it's not that
I
you pushed
like
me
this
on it.
game.
It's just that you played it and you
And we
didn't have
talk about what
anything
we're doing.
bad to say
Yeah.
about it. Because
Yes.
it's that
Well,
there are games.
I do have stuff that's bad to say about it.
No,
My
As you should,
biggest,
yeah.
my
no,
biggest
for
thing
sure.
about it is for new players. I find unless you're really dedicated like yourself, it is for a new player really hard to get into and figure out what the fuck is
No,
going on.
I
You got
disagree
19
100% on that.
No,
characters.
he's right.
No, I just no.
There is there.
Actually, hear me
Listen,
out. Hear me
as a
out.
new
Hear me out. Hear me
player,
out.
this is why I was impressed with how long you've lasted with it, because I
Yeah.
have convinced other people. For example, one of my old neighbors, another friend of mine back in New York, they played the game and felt way too overwhelmed with everything available, and the game doesn't do a very good job at explaining to you how to properly level up.
Okay.
So a lot of people, new people, I could understand drop this game because it's too much.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I 100% agree with you and I 100% understand. But also, here's the thing. Destiny is not the kind of game that you yourself would just be like, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking pick this shit up and play it and just kind of like see how the fuck I go with it." No, it is a game.
But
No,
that's
wait, wait,
still
wait, wait,
But
wait.
they don't
Sober,
know
sober, sober,
that.
sober, sober. No, hold on.
yeah.
Let me go on with this. Sober. I love you. I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go.
But it's one of those games that you kind of have to have a friend talk to you about it in order for you to kind of get into it. Now,
Yeah.
D1, one of my coworkers from back then, he's the one that he got me super into it because I played it initially and I had no one to play it with, sorry. And it was really difficult for me to get into it because it was just like, oh, how do I get into like kind of this other content and just like do it myself? PvP got boring because it was just me like playing with myself, haha. But once he was saying something about it, I was like, oh shit, you play it too? All right, cool. So what if we play together? And he's like, yeah, awesome. Lost contact with him. Fucking whatever. It was a coworker. Now with this, it's I hear fucking sober talk about sorry, drunk talk about it, and it's like he's super into the lore, he's super into the game. All right, awesome. So it's like, okay, sober plays it too. They both enjoy it. I know that sober has something to critique about it because like, he fucking runs his mouth 24/7. And then my coworkers were just like, hey, we play it also recreationally. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll give it a chance. Even within the first time that I didn't fucking play it with them, and I didn't play it with you guys either, it took me a bit to kind of like get into it with you guys. But there was shit that kind of gripped me into it. Okay, no problem. The game doesn't explain it that much. I do understand that. But then I had drunk to tell me things. I had sober to tell me things. One of my friends, Jason, who works with me, not the J Biggs that we know, but another Jason, like he shows me tech every fucking week that we play. And he's like super willing to tell me like more about the game in of itself. So I have one person that wants to tell me about the story, being you drunk, and then another one that wants to tell me, hey, this gun does this. Hey, we could do this to get this kind of gear, blah blah blah. And now I have these other things because for Seraph, like yes, I was running you guys through it, but Jason was the one that told me about all these fucking things.
Hmm.
So I now have this other demographic to kind of go through it. Now, fucking, we all know Letty. Now I got her to start playing the game, right? And with that, it's like it takes her kind of a minute to like understand things through the game, and everyone learns at their own pace. That's totally fine.
Mhm.
But the thing is that if you don't have anybody to explain to you certain mechanics, it is super fucking intimidating.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Now, me having played D1 and vanilla D2, I knew what the fuck they were trying to tell me with every single fucking hint, and I was like, all right, escape, fucking, I don't want to read any of this shit. I couldn't care less about what the fuck you're telling me. But when she would read it, she's just like, what does any of this mean? And I'm like, listen, don't read any of that. I will explain to you everything. And that is totally fine. So I was the one that explained to her, fucking, you guys were those that explained to me, if anything. And it's like, it is an intimidating game by yourself, but it's a game that you need people to play with for sure.
Yeah.
And if you
Mhm.
have that group, dude, it's fucking fantastic. It is so fucking amazing. Because when
Yeah,
we did the dungeon last week,
that was good, right?
I was seething. I was seething out my fucking ass. I fucking hated the fact that the mechanics were so simple, but they gave us so many fucking ads, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
mauling, literally, just like, why will they not fucking die? And the fact that the fire boss itself took 5 times
Wait
of
till
the
you do
same four
fucking.
pillar bullshit.
Wait till we do duality.
I did duality solo for a bit, and I just fucking quit.
Oh, you
I
can't
couldn't.
do it. It's so hard to do that solo.
But it's possible because apparently they
It
have
is
to fucking
possible.
try them to do solo. But either way, it's just like you got to have somebody that will help you,
You gotta know the
and if
fight
they
first.
do, like it's all up to the other person too of how much will they help you, how much will they explain. You got to have the right group.
Yeah.
Destiny is a great game. Destiny is a fucking fantastic game. I did a lot by myself because I knew what I needed to do, but having that extra person tell you, hey, we have this to do. We could do it easier with this. This weapon is great. These perks are fantastic. It definitely fucking helps you.
Mhm.
It's a community game. It's definitely a community game. Because
Mhm.
even then, I have been on Reddit plenty of fucking times. Not that I like contribute to any shit, but it's like I have looked up things of like how is this made easier, and there are people that are just like so happy to fucking help you out. And I can't even say that fucking League has a community because they are so fucking toxic. Destiny has to be by far the healthiest community of gamers that I've ever fucking encountered.
Yeah, Destiny players
Wait till you do a
can be
raid.
toxic in the sense that we do complain a lot,
No,
and
it's not too
we
bad.
complain. No, not as the community, like towards each other, but more towards Bungie themselves.
Yeah.
This game is one
Yeah,
of those games that you love to hate sometimes, because we complain a lot about what needs to be fixed, and it's not because it's a bad game. It's because we love the game so much that we want it to be better. So they complain a lot. They're like, the community is never happy with whatever it is that Bungie comes up with.
yeah,
But yeah,
But my point is that the only issue that I have is not with the gameplay. The gameplay I think is phenomenal. If everybody gives it a chance, is a lot to learn and could be overwhelming, like Danny said. And that's that I think requires dedication of like, okay, how do I level? And okay, I literally need somebody to tell me because it doesn't tell you how to properly level up your like
yeah. Some people don't
what you should be
understand
doing,
powerful engrams versus the pinnacle engrams.
or like
yeah,
Yeah.
tier 3 versus tier 2 powerful engrams. Like
Hmm.
people don't realize that can still upgrade you to a certain point.
yeah.
But
Because like, what is it? Like you have prime engrams and you have umbral engrams. Now it doesn't explain to you in full that umbral engrams are like season events or whatever the
yeah,
fuck case. And it was very clear with last week where it was like, oh, convert 5 umbral engrams into armor. What the fuck does that mean? If you don't know what the hell that is and you're not actually like paying too much attention because they throw so many fucking quests at you, I
yeah,
still have 3 pages of quests that I have not done yet.
yeah, me
Like I
too.
know what I
I
need to
have
do for
tons of
them,
questions.
but
Shit,
that
I just
doesn't mean
don't
that
do
I'm
it.
going to do them,
I'm all
nor that I
good.
want to do them. No, I know you're fucking good,
No,
but
you're
it's
I have a
like
bunch that I have.
it's just a case of just like I can't be fucked to fucking do it because I have other things to do. I have strikes to do. I have nightfalls. I have gambit. I have PvP. I have not legends, but I have the what's the Zer shit? Fuck me, I forgot what the hell it was called.
The
Crucible.
no,
No,
Zer,
no, Zer.
the something of, oh
Oh, the
my god,
cipher thing. Yeah, the cipher
what?
thing to
What
get
the hell
the
is it?
No,
cipher.
no.
Trials?
You're talking about the events that Zer runs.
Oh, trials.
Yeah.
No, not trials.
But what does he do?
Oh,
It's
you
it's in
talking about
eternity.
Trials of Osiris? Yeah, it's no
No,
Dares
not
of
Trials of
Eternity.
Osiris.
Dares of Eternity.
There you go.
There you go.
I have fucking dares to do. I have so many other things. Trials of Osiris, whenever the fuck it decides to come up. There are different things to fucking do. Also, by the way, I have not completed the Savathun story. I have 2 more missions to go
Oh
on
my
Legendary.
god.
That's a different fucking thing. Anywhore, like there's so many things that you could possibly fucking do that it's like you can't be fucked to really pay attention to what Bungie is throwing at you as a beginner because they throw 4 to 5 fucking pages at you, and then on top of that, they have events as well. It is not a new player friendly game if you don't have friends to play it with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
You need
then
at least one person that can tell you, hey, ignore this shit. We're going to fucking do this. They're going to guide you through it. And that is honestly, for the season of Dawning, that's all I did with Letty. We're not doing this. We're focusing on this. That way you get your fucking title. You could do this, blah, 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 whatever. And it still got her pinnacle gear.
Mm-hmm.
It was a thing of just like, yes, you want to focus on story, but also you want to focus on getting your light up. You want to get your rank up. You want to get your challenges done. If you want a title, fucking let's do it. But also, we need to get weekly you higher and higher and higher.
yeah,
The whole point of the game is progression, but the best part of progression is doing it with friends. Because again, Spire, I was seething. I was pissed. Super simple mechanics, so many fucking ads.
You
The
couldn't
fact that
even
we kept on
communicate
dying-
with us properly either.
Bro.
You were
yeah,
typing everything
but you were
up.
doing really good.
Yeah, you're doing
You
good.
were doing-
No,
you know what it
because
is? We play with people who don't have the common. Like I lack. I'm not the most common sense person when it comes to this game. Sometimes I die a lot, as you see. But
no, and
like,
that's why honestly the biggest thing that I fucking respected about you that entire fucking dungeon run was that you were like, fuck this, I'm focusing ads. Drunk and Rig can focus.
I was like, yeah, I like you guys got that. I have no fucking clue what's going on.
You
We had
killed
this teamwork. You
everything
guys
for
do it,
us,
and
and you
I'll
just
write
do
shit.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the times it is part of the teamwork anyway, and I'm just doing that. But that's what having 3 people and really communicating is really fun, especially in those dungeons.
Yeah.
Like when you do duality, you need to do that. Like you have to go, okay, you guys.
We
I'm gonna
I
go
also-
this
we
way,
haven't
go
done a
that way.
raid yet, have we, Randy?
No,
I
we have
haven't.
not. We
Yeah.
have not.
So imagine
No,
6 people trying to communicate.
Which is
Spire-
funny because it happened, and you get like, and everybody has to do their job.
So
Yeah.
so get this. Spire was my very first dungeon
Yeah,
Okay.
for D2.
Yeah.
yeah, because we didn't
And
get you
also,
to do.
I tried to do the whole Kevin thing, like Kevin from The Office, where it's like less word make good, whatever the fuck he said. Like
Yeah.
it was that shit. Because when you explain the whole thing of like the boss and the Spire, that it's like, oh, like Sober was like, oh, I got close to the thing. He's like, yeah, I didn't fucking say make out with it. Killed me. Love that entire fucking thing. It was hilarious because I was like, no, he has a point. Like he's being sarcastic, but also he has a fucking point.
Yeah.
In terms of raids, though, we might have a fucking group because there's the 3 of us.
Yeah.
There's a bartender, a runner, and a server.
Bro,
at my
we
job,
have
at my
enough
other
to make
job.
a clan.
No,
Because I
and
have
that's what-
I have coworkers also who play.
Dude, that's what I was fucking telling the runner yesterday. I was like, bro, we can make a fucking clan. He's like, nah,
Yeah.
dude, I don't want to leave my clan right now. And I'm like, but we will have consistency.
Yeah. It's all good.
Because we have the manpower, but that's a whole other fucking story. But yeah, no, like this fucking dungeon, it pissed me the fuck off, but I was so happy doing it regardless.
Duality though. Duality is the
Duality is
worst.
the fun- the
Duality is the
most fun
hardest
ones.
one. It's really
No, and
fun.
here's the thing.
And it
here's
has
the
the
thing.
best.
This
I was
is
hoping you got on early. I wanted to do it with you, but do it
I
next week.
was actually with my brother earlier, so
Oh, wow.
I kind of got late. But this is a fucked up thing about playing like MMOs in general. There's a weird masochism because I played WoW for the majority of all of my middle school and the majority of my high school fucking life, right? I did dungeons, I did raids, and I made sure that I got like at some point there were people that wanted to buy me out because it was the highest DPS in the fucking realm, right? I love little shit like this. The harder
Wow.
someone just fucking ripped down the block. Anyways, fucking featuring them. So my entire thing is that it's like the more mechanics there are, but that they're like rightfully done so, the more entertaining it is. Because my issue with Spire is that we have the whole attrition thing, right? And it's a really good mechanic. You kill the Minotaur, you stand in the well, you get the buff, you follow the wire. Awesome. my biggest issue with that entire fucking dungeon that pissed me the fuck off, the amount of ads they fucking threw at you. It's
Yeah.
not difficulty because of mechanics, it's difficulty because of numbers. It's difficulty because they threw so many fucking monsters at you that if you kill one, it doesn't fucking matter because you
No,
have
they keep
3 to 4 to 5 fucking more to deal with. And then some of them have shields on top of that. And then it's just like it becomes a thing of irritation where it's like we were stuck on the beginning part for 3 deaths around there.
Yeah,
And
more or less.
it genuinely it annoyed the fuck out of me because I'm like, this is so fucking simple, and none of us are at fault. It's just that they're sending so many fucking monsters at us that I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's why I was like, fuck this, I'm shooting ads. And the second I decided we did that, we beat it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's just get
yeah, no,
Yeah.
and
a
then it
little
became
more
easier.
organized, come up with a plan. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we got it. We were done after that.
But it was still really fucking annoying. I
Yeah.
detested that entire fucking thing. But no, I can't wait to do duality
yeah.
because if it's
And
more
then-
technical, I'm so fucking on board.
yeah, it is. It is more technical. I mean,
Because
granted,
what is it
we got it
D1?
locked, but
For D1, Siva, that raid. Remember that one, Dan?
The Siva raid, yeah.
Well, yeah. Remember how you had to
Wrath
stand
of
in
the
the
Machine?
fucking light well?
Yeah.
That was as from what I played in D1. That was the most technical raid that I did, and it was also the most fucking fun one because it did the basics and the most extra shit. The basics of don't stand in the fucking fire, where everyone knows that, but at the same time, nobody fucking knows that. You stand in the light well. You fucking have one person doing everything else. Meanwhile, we had a bunch of fucking dickheads just like fucking.
Have
it
you
up.
not done the Taken King raid?
No, never. Actually,
Oh,
never.
Danny, we're gonna do that one first with him.
yeah, that was easy.
Dude, I promise you, the only raid that I did for D1 was Siva.
Taking King raid is up
That
on
was
D2 now. We're gonna
I mean,
do
the
that.
hardest, the harder one for me was
I
that.
saw
I still haven't
last
beat it.
week
The other one, the one we did before that,
The
one that came
what?
out before that, the
Oh,
Battle
the
Disciple.
the actual like D2 raid, Vow of Disciple. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
fucking hard,
rough.
man.
That was rough.
That's just real fucking hard.
Yeah.
There's all types of patterns and fucking pictures. Is what was it, 24
You have
pictures?
to memorize
like that?
about 24 different pictures.
Fuck that.
I mean, you can
That shit
literally
trips
just
me
have your
out.
cell phone and have have the template with you if you wanted to use that, which is what I do. But I've already memorized the names of everything at this point because I've done it multiple times.
And also, you know the lore of this entire fucking thing.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
it's fucking
hold
insane.
on.
I
This
think
is,
you have to beat. You have to
super off
finish the
topic
Witch
from
King.
Destiny.
You have to finish the Witch King storyline now in order to do it.
Yeah.
This is very off topic from Destiny.
What?
It's kind of similar. So, Drunk, you know how you know most, if not all, the fucking Destiny lore?
Uh-huh.
To the point that like, you could like you have those pictures memorized for whatever the fuck it was. I used to be such a fucking big ass fan of Dead Space, like D1, D2. D2 is the best. D3 is fucking garbage. I knew the necromorph alphabet to the point that when there were scribbles on the wall, I was able to read it verbatim.
They have an actual language?
They do,
Yeah.
and they have it translated in some other fucking thing that I saw it, I memorized it, and I was able to see the scribbles, and I was like, "Wow, that's fucked up." I read it all, and I was like, "Damn, that's fucking insane." And also, I'm gonna get the fucking Dead Space remake because
Oh, hell yeah.
I just wanted, yeah, dude, no, fucking amazing game.
Well,
I'm
another
actually,
2023 game.
yes, I'm actually fucking heartbroken that there were some original Dead Space members that did Callisto Protocol and it fucking flopped. Like they
Yeah.
did updates.
Didn't
to
we
kinda
talk
fix
about
some of
this?
shit.
How bad
We
it
kind
was?
of did.
About how
Yeah.
bad it was.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like they did do some updates as of last time that they fucking had a thing. But it can't be.
It
the
was an
fucking
awful
same.
game. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated
Because Dead
it.
Space, the best thing about it is that they made their own specific engine and rig to make dismemberment possible, not just on the enemies, but also on the main character, where it was the head, shoulders, you had 5 points
Knees
in
and
between
toes, knees
every
and
joint.
toes.
Fuck off. You had every like 5 points in between each joint, so that it was like dismemberment was within the realm of possibility. And it was scary in that sense. It's like it's not your character dying and just like, oh, they're fucking losing some Resident Evil sense. They got fucking ripped to shreds.
Mhm.
And that was the beauty of Dead Space. It was like you're some lowly fucking engineer and you just died however the fuck you died. And that was that.
Yeah.
So the fact that they did a Dead Space remake and they made it prettier, but also like with more kind of deaths, dude, hell yeah.
Yeah. I
Also,
know.
on the before you continue, on the
Mhm.
thing of Dead Space, did you know that every single chapter of Dead Space 1, the first letter spells out a sentence? So there's 13 chapters, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that one. But the entire thing spells out Nicole is dead. Nicole being Isaac's fiance who died on the
Uh,
Ishimura, and she's a figment of his imagination because he refused to watch her entire suicide on film.
no, I didn't catch
So
that.
the entire thing spells out Nicole is dead. And then
I
you find
did.
out at the end because she comes back to haunt
Yeah,
you.
I did get that somewhere. I remember that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Also, I was
back
terrified for 8 months after I finished that game.
back to our picks. Our picks. I know I guess we don't have anything else that we're looking forward to. I mean, aside from Dead
Dead
Space,
Space is mine.
obviously.
That's it. That's
So that's
mine.
another one.
Number one.
So I don't know how you
Wait,
guys feel.
when is KH4 coming out?
What is
24
it?
or 23? Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
I
it's
23 or
doubt it's
24?
coming out
It's
this year.
24.
I
That's
doubt that's
fine.
They
coming out this
have
year.
the engine to do it.
No,
Swear, don't fuck me on this.
no, they guaranteed 24, 20 or 25. 24,
Oh, we both
25.
forgot the ultimate game is coming out.
The ultimate game?
The ultimate, the end all. Oh my god, you can't believe you forgot this.
What?
SpongeBob SquarePants Cosmo. Fuck with you, guy.
Oh shit! I'm
What?
dropping Destiny for this one.
For SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's one more game I am looking forward to.
What?
That I'm hoping it does better than the Batman game is the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, yeah. Oof. That's on my failure list.
I know it could go either way because the last one was so bad. So I don't know, but I'm hoping. I have hopes for that game.
I have hopes as well. So, all right, let me put it this way though. All of my games that I have on my failure list, I want them to do well, and I still plan on playing these games. But I still have this inkling feeling, this gut feeling that they're gonna fail. And for Suicide Squad specifically, is because yet they just recently showed gameplay for it, and it looks very intense and like fast paced. But I feel like there's not a lot in the game. I don't feel like there's a lot of like really like intricate gameplay that we're gonna have fun with. I think it's gonna be a super, really, really super simple game, and it's mostly gonna focus on story, which is still not a bad thing. But I feel like this is gonna turn off a lot of people because the game might not be that fun, but you're in it for the story mostly. So that's what I worry about.
But that is multiplayer though.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
So you think it'll be more
That's-
fun because it has multiplayer?
because it has multiplayer. You
Yeah.
know, I think like even the Batman game when we played it, like it was way more fun
True.
playing it with me and you than
That's
just
true.
playing it by yourself. You know, so the fact that I think this one's going to be 4, not 2. I hope. Don't know for sure. And if that's the case, you know, that would make it even more interesting. Even if it is basic, I mean, basic isn't always the worst because when there's multiple things like multiple characters playing at the same time, like 4 people, usually there's some kind of mechanic that makes it challenging. Otherwise, this is 4 people slashing at it, you know. So because of that, I have faith in it.
Do you guys have any games you think might fail?
And also, fighting all the Justice League is gonna be awesome. Like it's gonna be real fun. You
Yeah.
fight Batman and Flash and all these fucking characters, and who knows later on it can open up to fucking Justice League versus Suicide Squad, and we could play. Like remember that superhero game, the superhero MMO?
Yeah,
DC
League of
Online?
League of Heroes or something like that,
There's
or
League of Heroes,
something like that. Yeah.
or something like that. And then
There was that one, but there also had the DC one, which is DC Universal.
yeah.
DC Universe.
But
But they had the
but-
generic ones. It was League of Heroes and then League of
It was
Villains.
it was
a
it was a
spin-off.
generic one, and then they did a spin-off that kind of combined them almost.
Yeah.
And you can pick either a hero or a villain. And so that was kind of fun, you know, like that kind of, you know, premise.
All right. So, what do you guys think of Lies of P? That's another failure for me.
I think that's gonna be bad. I think people are gonna compare it too much to fucking Elden
Souls?
Ring. Yeah, Elden Ring. No, I
Oh
think
no,
they're gonna
actually
put
no. Now Elden Ring, yes, you're right.
they're gonna
I
put it too far, then
So
it's not
here's
gonna
the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the
compete.
thing. Here's the thing. I do see it as a failure, but the thing is that it's like I'm still super fucking excited for it
Mm-hmm.
because
I'm
I've
still gonna
always
play it. Yeah.
seen. Yeah, I don't care if it does bad or if it does well. I'm still gonna enjoy it regardless, even if it's fucking garbage, because I have seen nothing but like positive interpretations of Pinocchio, but never anything like kind of this fucking weird. Um, I do know that Guillermo del Toro he did a
Yeah,
movie about
recently. Yeah.
yeah the
Yeah, I think you
stop
won
motion
a. I
film.
think you won a Golden Globe or something recently. I think for
Hmm.
The
music.
fucking
I think it was.
some shit, but either way, like this dude is fucking fantastic. But his Pinocchio wasn't as dark as what this wants to be because the thing is that they have the kind of bloodborne aspect of the weapons because you saw like the kind of like weird opening fucking scythe and whatever. Um, it's the fact that yes, it is a Dark Souls kind of type game that it seems like it's being portrayed as, but it's the mechanic of the whole Pinocchio aspect of like telling lies gets you buffs and debuffs, whereas telling the truth also gets you buffs and debuffs. Like you can play your character as a whole fucking liar, where you will gain strength through it because you know like lies benefit him, but they also really fuck him up. But it could also be true and you know kind of go into the whole oh I'm a real boy aspect. But I am super fucking interested in it because it's Dark Souls with a twist, with a huge fucking twist, mind you. Like
See,
there's a whole
that's not what I consider it to be. That's it.
no
It
because
looks
I
like it
consider it
tries
Dark
so
Souls.
hard to be Dark Souls, and I worry that aside from what you mentioned, because that is a very interesting twist to the gameplay, but I feel like a lot of the actual combat and stuff like that is gonna try too hard to be like Dark Souls, where it's just like
More so Bloodborne.
meh.
I feel like it'd be
Or
super fast
yes,
paced.
Bloodborne. I agree. More Bloodborne.
Because
Yes.
here's the thing: if you want to do it Dark Souls, it will get hella stagnant, where it's just like hit, dodge,
Block and then
block, whatever. Yeah,
circle. Yeah.
but Bloodborne was a fucking intense, cracked out fucking Dark Souls. Because if you want to put it in terms of like pace, Dark Souls is the most tame. Sekiro is right in the middle, and then Bloodborne is just fucking. You're dusting off a cheetah that wants to get the fuck away from you, and you're like, dude, stay the fuck still. They're not going to stay the fuck still.
So if the game, let's say the game aside from the gameplay mechanic that you just mentioned, if this is a carbon copy of Bloodborne, do you still think it'll be fun because it plays like that?
I think so because the whole lying and telling the truth
No,
aspect of the game.
aside from that,
Oh,
yeah,
oh no, I still think so because the
yeah,
thing is that Bloodborne was only okay. So here's the thing: Dark Souls has been done time and time again. Sekiro was when it was faster. If anything, Sekiro is on the same pace as Elden Ring, where Elden Ring was a lot faster, it was a lot smoother, but Sekiro was also a lot faster and smoother. Bloodborne was the fastest. It wasn't even the fucking jankiest. It was the most unfair, but also you kind of had to kind of like get good at the fucking game.
yeah.
If Lies of P is like that, it's all it is just a skill check. If you're not good at the game, you're not good at the game, and that's okay. All you can do is just practice and practice and practice, and that's about it. It will
Hmm.
deter a lot of people because some people are so used
They're
to
gonna want
and
easy
they
mode.
want, yeah, they want the game to cater to them and they want it to pander and just be like, oh, I can't get past this point. Do you want to skip this? Yeah, fuck that.
Hmm.
Genuinely fucking fuck that.
Danny,
If they have that, they have that. If they don't, they don't. But I think that Liza P kind of will do okay. It's not going to do the best, but it will do decently enough to be an okay
it's
game.
for that niche audience for sure.
Yeah, it'll be game of the week if anything.
Yeah.
I think the game is gonna try too hard to be dark Pinocchio, and it's not gonna be the best. I think it's gonna fail in the storyline as not as being forgettable. Like you'll like it in the moment and go after a while, be like, well, what was the storyline of Bloodborne? Oh no.
I
So
honestly, all I want is just for them to get Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Oh, jeez.
and then that's funny. And then I think because of Elden Ring that they're gonna compare the combat system to that too much, and if they don't have pure magic wizard spells, then I really don't give a shit because that's the only thing I play when I
See,
do.
this is the thing, though.
I
This
do
is
pure mage. So
the actual issue with any game trying to be difficult and kind of like an open world. I wouldn't say hack and slash. I gotta sneeze. Give me a second. Oh fuck, Jesus. Just like kind of an open world aspect of shit is that all they could compare it to is Dark Souls because that's all that we fucking know. It's
well,
not that it's like
they
they didn't
created the genre.
uh
What'd you say?
Dark Souls created a genre.
Yeah, absolutely.
but the thing is that From Software, they had it's not that Dark Souls made the genre, it's that From made the genre. Because
Yes.
From had different games that were of similar kind of vein where they were difficult, they had their same aspect of souls and shit. It's just that no one fucking played them. Dark Souls got the most traction, and that's where that was. I'm not saying like,
Demon
oh, be a
Souls.
hipster.
Yeah, Demon
Yeah,
Souls.
I'm not saying be a fucking hipster and like say, oh, it's a Demon Souls, like, but also recognize games that kind of like had that scaling difficulty, if anything, because what was it? It was Demon Souls or Dark Souls that the more you died, the harder the game got. It was one of those two for sure.
No. I played
No, I'm
Demon
pretty.
Souls. I played the original Demon Souls. It wasn't like that.
No,
It was
Demon Souls
always
was
just straight off hard off the bat.
just the way,
No, for
just
sure.
like
But there
Dark
was
Souls
one
and
that
Demon
it was
Souls.
just like it punished you for death.
I think you're talking about
No,
Sekiro.
No, not Sekiro.
Sekiro did that.
I know that I wasn't Sekiro because I died so fucking much in Sekiro and I still managed to do the hard mode and fought the fucking
I
demon of
no
hatred.
none of the Dark Souls.
There was some fucking bullshit that it was. I'll find it fucking
Uh,
later on.
uh.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll drink an entire bottle of fucking some shit and whatever.
But regardless, they still created Dark Souls, Demon Souls, whatever you want to call it. I always
Yeah.
see them as the same
You can
fucking
you
thing.
can call the Dark Souls, the Demon Souls games, or Souls like
Yeah,
games like a basic
Souls.
action
Yeah,
adventure hack and slash. If you wanted to call it a genre, then that's what it would be. But it's its
yeah,
own genre because of the difficulty.
yeah. Because of the learning curve difficulty. I
Yeah.
mean, some are like Fallen Order technically is a Souls game because of the fact that yes, it has a difficulty in the beginning, and there is a learning curve. Once granted, the Fallen Order had an easy learning curve, and once you get a certain amount of XP and experience at the beginning, the game becomes easy. But it still had aspects of it. Um, Same thing for Strangers in Paradise. It was a Souls-like game. It was their
Yeah.
version of a Souls game.
Yeah.
It was, you could call it a hybrid Souls RPG game if you want it. Um, but but regardless, it is a genre, and I think because Life of P, because Elden Ring did so well, it kind of reinvented that genre again. So and I'm not saying the open world part. I'm not saying that the game has to be open world. I'm talking about the combat. I'm talking about it has to be what you can do, the amount of weapons, the spells, abilities, all that. If it doesn't compete, then it's going to be like, well, I might as well play. I'm rather wait for another
It's
element with
got to be
DLC.
just as deep as Elden Ring in order to compete.
Yeah, when it comes to the weapons and stuff,
Yeah.
because they changed the game on they added so much. It was like, yeah, this is PS5. This is PS5, bitch. This is what we can do. Or, this is the next gen, I should say. I don't know. That's my thought.
Yeah. I'm still gonna play Liza P. So
I might not play. I might wait to see.
So we'll play Liza P, and you will hear our reviews.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean,
basically,
honestly,
after
it could probably be some like fucking total opposite shit. Like one
yeah,
of us might like the game, and the other one might
True.
fucking hate it.
True.
Yeah.
Randy,
Chances are, I'll probably be the one that loves it.
Randy, you're gonna hate me for this, but another failure that I have for 2023 is Dead Space.
No,
that's one of
I
mine
believe it.
too. But
You
I
want to know
believe it.
why?
What's
It's
up?
because even it's a remake, but I worry that it's just going to be a carbon copy of the original thing. It's not going to bring anything new.
Dead Space HD.
Yeah, Dead Space HD is what I'm
Yeah.
worried
Yeah.
about.
No, I get it because the thing is that how so Dead Space 1 already had its own engine like kind of perfected in a sense. So how do you further progress on something that was already good without just making it look pretty? It
Hmm.
can't. You actually fucking can't. All you can do is tell the story from a higher definition aspect of it, and that's about it. There's there's nothing better to expect from it. The only reason I'm actually looking forward to it is because I do want to see it in a prettier fucking resolution. But aside from, it's like as long as you're just doing Dead Space 1 and maybe Dead Space 2, don't do Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 is a fucking failure,
Yeah,
and that's it.
there's no
Like
fixing that shit.
yeah, no, for sure. Like just give me the same fucking gore, if anything, like with some more room for different kind of gore. Like give me different like glory kills, give me different
Mhm.
fucking tears and shit. I'll be happy with that. Dead Space 1 was still fucking good in and of itself. So was Dead Space 2. Just do those two and you're set. Like fucking you could flop, but you'll still pass with me because I know what Dead Space 1 is. I play that shit 3 fucking times and I haven't gotten tired of it. That says a lot about the game on how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
no, I don't see it. I don't see it doing as great as I would like it to be. I do definitely see it being part of the
here's what
plot.
I picture. This is what I'm picturing is that a lot of people are going to buy this game. A lot of people are going to have extremely high expectations about this game, and then what's going to come back is that it's mediocre. Is that people are
Yeah.
going to be like, "Oh, it's okay. It's exactly like the same game. It's just pretty. So it's just
Because here's
okay."
also the thing: you're gonna have a lot of people that played Dead Space 1 that are gonna get it, and they're either gonna be super excited, like me, or
Yeah.
they're gonna be very disappointed, which also could be me. But then you're
Or
gonna
you're going to
have
be excited and then you'll be disappointed.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
and honestly, if that happens, then fucking so be it. You know
Yeah.
what? That's just me being a fanboy, and that's it. But then you're also gonna have these new fucking Twitch streamers and whatever the hell. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Dead Space, new one, blah blah blah." What? This is mid as fuck, and it's gonna be like, well, I mean, yeah, but how about instead of playing this one, you play the first one?
Yeah, the original. If
Yeah,
they've never played it before. I mean, if they've never played the game
no,
before in
because
general,
chances are if they
I
have,
would definitely recommend playing the newer version because it looks more realistic. But
but
if you've
but
played the
realism
game
doesn't
already, you I
always
feel like you have,
translate
huh?
to realism doesn't always translate to good. That's the thing.
No, no, no. Yeah, very true. But if let's say for example our theory is correct that the remake is just pretty much a carbon copy of the original game. The original game was still a great game. So for anyone who's playing the game for the first time ever, I would recommend playing the more polished version of it, which would be the remake. Whereas for like
That's funny.
fans like me and you, if we're playing the remake, our expectations are set so high because we love the first game so much. They're gonna we're gonna be disappointed.
I would genuinely recommend just playing the original as is
Wouldn't you want to play
because
something more realistic looking though, like better
I
graphics, but it plays exactly the same?
realistically speaking, like 100% no, because I
Why?
would because I would want the original. I would want what for me, from my personal aspect, I would want what it was that kind of like was what set the threshold for what it is. Like,
But
yes, it's a
sometimes
Dead
the
Space
same,
remake.
some of those
No,
original games are really hard to play. Like,
but
I,
also the thing is that
like a
having
like
me personally
Ninja
having played Dead
Gaiden is
Space
a phenomenal game,
yes, no, for
but
sure, and I agree with you. That Ninja
but
Gaiden shit is hard
but
as fuck. But
yeah, that's what
me
I'm saying.
having
So
played
Ninja
Dead
Gaiden
Space,
is a nobody modern today can play Ninja Gaiden and get why people love it so much because they'll play and be like, oh, this is fucking hard. I'm not doing it. I'm done.
yeah, but
Or
also
this
the
looks
thing
like
is just
shit,
like
or it moves like shit, or it plays like shit. So you don't want them. You kind of want them to play the original Dead Space. Don't really you you want them to play the original Dead Space and appreciate it for what you saw when you saw it. So if they redo the graphics, they make sure the controls aren't fucking squinky. They redo the game so it's playable. It's up to a modern time. They kind of get what you got when you first played it because it's in the era.
for what it is now. All right, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
It's just I personally, like, for me, I love to play what it was that made it what it is now. Like the whole Ninja Gaiden thing, like that's a very night and day kind of comparison. Because yes, like the original Ninja Gaiden was fucking difficult as all hell, and the newer ones were hard to an extent, but they were definitely passable. They didn't have a whole thing of just like you brick wall and that's kind of it. Like you kind of got to get better at it. You did have ways to kind of get around it. Dead Space, it's very cut and dry. It's super survival horror formulaic in of itself in the first aspect. If they do a carbon copy of it, that would still be good, even if it looks pretty. But there's a certain charm to the first one that came out way the fuck when that I personally prefer because yes, okay, you smooth it out now. You make the turning easier. You make the aiming a lot better. You have it so
Yeah,
that it's so much more fluid. But what really scared me about Dead Space 1 originally was that jank ass fucking aiming that like you felt like you were stuck in one spot. And like the
hmm
Resident Evil 4, the very first Resident Evil 4 that came out, like that my straw was super high def right there. Um, like there was a certain fear about being planted in one spot, even though it was very action based. It was still like shit. I'm here. I have to fucking make sure that I aim, and it feels like I'm fucking dragging my gun through molasses, and now I'm actually aiming at their head. It's it's the lack of fast paced part that you want that makes it scary. And if they make it kind of like polished and super fucking easy to do, like that'll kind of take away from it. Will it still take away from the horror? A little bit. The deaths are still going to be scary as shit. I can promise you that.
Hmm.
They might fucking bring up different things because they had the.
They had a
I
lot
think
of
my
unique
my
deaths.
yeah, the most terrifying one was that little shit that like wrapped around your neck, popped your head off, and then took over Isaac's body as the corpse. And I was like, no, I don't like that. That's terrifying. That's kind of fucking scary, actually. But if it's more streamlined, it's easier to get away with the killing. It's easier to get away from fights in general, and that's kind of what worries me. Like my entire thing, like as we know, it's just like making games easier. I hate
but
that shit.
the first game it was like, have you seen people play it? Like, you can get away from monsters, you get away from fights super
No,
fucking
yeah,
easy because the
no,
game is
Well,
so because of
for
how
sure.
janky the
or,
game actually is.
originally in the game, it was difficult in the beginning because you were getting used to how these monsters work and how you
Yeah,
kill
Yeah,
them
because
and
and
we're
then
and
it
talking
just
about
avoid
falls up to
them.
you.
fights
But
in general.
Afterwards,
Me,
it gets easy.
yeah, because if I do fucking new game plus hardcore, I'm running through that shit like fucking nothing. Like I
Yeah.
know
because the monsters are really janky, and the way they attacked you and the way they attacked you was really not. They weren't like fast paced or moving. They were all the monsters were super slow, so it was
they
really
were
easy to get
slow
away
until
from
they
them.
got within a certain range.
Yeah, and then they kind of like rush it, but it's still like very easy to fucking just run. Like I've seen it. I've seen
No,
tons
yeah,
of footage because
because
I was
also
watching. I wanted to look at footage side by side footage, so
Mhm.
I watched tons of it, and I was like, "Fuck, this game used to be." I forgot how fucking easy, and I remember this go because there's a lot of back traveling in that game, or a lot of traversing, trying to figure
Yeah.
out where you need to go. And I remember doing it. I remember running, just going, I'm just gonna run past them, waste ammo on these guys, running past them. Next, and that's kind of almost what you do with Resident Evil,
yeah,
stuff like
but
that.
here's the thing too. It's like you
But
say
what I'm
that you
saying
watch
is that
videos, you
I
say that you
think,
play the game,
I
you
think
know
that,
what you can
but
run
I,
past. Think of it as just like a raw first time playing. My first time playing, it took me about 14 months to play the entirety of Dead Space 1. I shit you not. I was mortified to play the fucking game. I was in middle school. I was a pussy. I
yeah.
was terrified of what the fuck this game was. And so playing it, I was like, damn, this is actually fucking scary. Meanwhile, it was super formulaic. You had certain open areas, you had your
hmm
monster coming out the vents, whatever the fuck, blah blah blah. After I beat the game, yeah, I was paranoid for a bit. But then I played it again and I was like, no, I know this shit. And then years later, I got it on fucking Steam and I'm like, yo, I can play this shit again. And then I played it again and again and again. If it's the first time playing it, you're gonna be terrified. If it's your second time playing it, you might be a little less terrified. You know some shit. You might not remember what's coming up in like the end of the game, but you gotta have that edge.
hmm Well,
That,
what I'm
that's
saying
that's what
is
I want from a game.
a lot of what they can fix of in the new one is that not make it as easy if you just run past an enemy. Like you have to fight them, you have to get past them, you have to do it,
No,
which
yeah,
makes it scarier.
and what I
Because it
want to say
makes it
about
that you run out of
that,
ammo, and then now that you have no ammo, you go into a new place, and you're like, fuck. You know,
yeah,
especially as a new player.
yeah,
Especially as a new
because
player.
what I want to say about that is that it's like as a new player, you don't know who to run past. You don't know who the fuck to just like. Okay, this person I could cripple and then run past them, or whatever the
Hmm.
case. When I played the game initially, I killed every single fucking enemy. It was the
Yeah.
pulse rifle. It was fucking the cutter, the ripper,
The cutter.
and the force gun. It was those four weapons that I fucking ran because I was like, shit. Every enemy is a threat. In playthrough two, every enemy is not a threat because you could get to your objective easily while they're like shambling and kind of just like going to you and like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and it's like, yeah, when fucking next year, like
Hmm.
if you're a new player going into Dead Space Remake, you don't know dick about shit. All you know is just pretty graphics, pretty deaths, and that's about it. But if you're a fucking veteran on that shit, you kind of know what the fuck to do on that.
Well,
And I
that's
guess
that's
that's
what I
what
hope that is
yeah,
that with this remake that they change things up so
Yeah.
that way you can't expect those same things that you used to do in the original.
yeah.
All right, Danny. So
Hmm?
now it's my turn to piss you off. I mean, you
Oh,
already knew
oh
this
wait,
one
wait, wait,
coming up.
wait, wait, wait. My favorite, my next game of the year, Shenmue 4.
Oh, shut up. Danny, you knew this one was coming. My last pick for fails is Forspoken.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
game's gonna fail. I don't think the game is gonna be receptive like you think it will be, even though you like the game.
I like that. I have fun.
Yeah.
Um, I think it all depends on the storyline. I mean, if they do a
I
good
think the
Final
story would
Fantasy type
save it.
storyline,
I hope the
I
story is
think
good.
the story was. That's the only thing that I think can really save it. And giving it a good story and having some good characters and dragons and monsters and all that crazy shit. I can see some cool battles going
Hmm.
on in that. Like it has potential to do some cool fights. So I'm hoping that they do that. And if they do that, it'll be a fun game. I'm not gonna say like I definitely don't think, and I didn't think when it first came out either. I don't think it'd be like game of the year. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's gonna be a good game that you know.
You have to admit though, when you played the demo, and I'm not saying the mechanics are bad. I'm saying they are weird though, right? Like it's not just me. They play a little bit different from a traditional like action adventure, especially like a parkour like type of game. I don't feel
I
like
did not
I feel
feel.
like the
I honestly, I
mechanics are
know
a
you said it
bit.
more than once. That the mechanics for you felt weird. I did not. I didn't think that was you. I had no problem with mechanics. I mean, it was very. I mean, I found myself trying to figure out how to switch back and forth from melee to range, just so I
Mhm.
can mess with that. But that was the only thing that was different. Everything else kind of felt similar to games I played before.
Not to
Like I don't
me.
know, it
It was
felt
just it felt very
very
slow for
attacking. I mean,
me.
and I didn't get the slowness either. I mean, it was a lot of people coming, fighting. Not a lot of people. I mean, that you fought enough. You had enough battles in between to keep you entertained, and then the running
Oh yeah.
sequences were just traversing. Like you would in Ghost of Tsushima, something like that. Like it's just a running part. It's just running, going fast forward. And I've seen footage where like you can fly and fucking surfboard, all types of stuff to make your traversing from one point to the
Well,
map
that's
to
what I mean.
another.
That's if we get that far. I mean, but I'm talking about what we played so far. It's just like
But I'm saying,
I worry that the people that are gonna because obviously I'm still gonna give it a chance. I already told you I pre-ordered the game,
yeah.
so like I'm still gonna play the game, and I'm hoping throughout my experience is that I get used to it, and then I'll enjoy it more. But like I feel like it'll put off some people before they even get to that point that they get those easier traversal mechanics like flying or whatever it may be.
But again, this traversal was very basic. I mean, what they give you, you run forward. I mean, you just they run. She runs really fast. That's the only thing. There wasn't
Hmm.
much. There wasn't much space to do any of the parkour shit that they showed in the footage of like the mountains and all the different things that they had. It was an open grassy field, so you just kind of ran forward. Yes, I was confused on how to go up the mountain at first, how to
Oh
climb up
yeah,
the mountain,
yeah.
but that was because I wasn't supposed to. But then even after I got it, it still felt a little weird, like I was fighting against it a little bit.
Hmm.
But I can. It's probably because again, you're not supposed to be able to climb up a fucking straight wall right away. It's supposed to be used as an upgrade almost. You're supposed to be able to keep upgrading it and do more and more later on. Like I seen that. So it makes sense after the fact, and that's where I think they just little poor explaining of what the hell's going on. And then to me, the world so far seems interesting with all these
Yeah,
fucking
definitely.
zombie type people. So I'm like, okay, they can nicely explain this world. It'll be good.
Hmm.
And the risk guy wasn't fucking annoying because I thought he was going to be annoying.
He like just talks too much or
I
something
thought it
like
was,
that's what I was worried about
yeah,
too. Yeah,
I thought it was going to be like that fucking gun, like Morty in that game.
like Morty.
But it,
Oh
fuck,
God.
oh my
Yeah.
god, it was fucking too much.
But please,
But
let's not talk about High on Life, please.
yeah,
Did you play the
yeah.
game?
No, I've
Yeah.
honestly seen too much shit about it. I can't be fucked to care about Rick and Morty, and it's
I like Rick and Morty now though. It was really funny because I just finished all the Rick and Mortys. I just before I binged them in the last like month or two, and then I saw that fucking thing. I'm like, hey, that's Morty's. Morty's voice. I know that voice. I've been listening to
Yeah,
him
that the toilet
every
humor
night.
works better on the TV show than that video game.
Yeah. It's also not that much. Like even the
Yeah.
fucking Morty doesn't have that much soul. Like I see, I heard the game. He cursed. He dropped the f bomb so much, and
Hmm.
I cursed a lot. Even I was like, damn, that's come on,
Just
stop. Like
stop.
you just said fuck, just to say fuck. Like none of this making any sense. Like the knife was like, I'm gonna stab him, kill him. Well, I'm just like, okay, I get it. I get the joke in the beginning. I
Yeah.
got the joke. Did you
see.
have to keep
No,
on
but
going as he
this is the
has it
thing.
equipped
No,
it?
that's exactly what the Rick and Morty fan base is. It's just they take one joke and they fucking ride with it for fucking ever. They just
No.
repeat it. No, yes, they
Oh, I
repeat it
mean
and
the
repeat
fan
it and repeat
base.
it.
Oh, the
Yeah, no,
fan
no, no, no.
base.
Yeah, the fan base for sure. It's not the
No,
writers.
that
It's
I
not
don't know.
the
No, I think
writers.
it's
They
about
write
the
a joke.
writers.
It's a one off and that's it.
Yeah.
But that's what it was for like season 1 through 4, and then afterwards it was just like fucking Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick
Pickle
is the
Rick.
best
That
worst
turned
example
into
of that
such
I
a
fucking
love
shit.
Pickle
meme.
Rick. I love
Yes.
Pickle Rick. I really like
So
it. But yeah, so that's my. I think Forspoken can be fine. I think we're all gonna have fun with it, more fun than you think. And then, based on the story, I really do
Yeah.
think it's gonna be based on the
Again,
story.
I'll still play it, but we'll see how it is.
That's
And I
in
could
like
be wrong with
2
every single
weeks.
one of my failure picks. So
I think that Dead Space will do better than Forspoken.
better than
No,
Forspoken?
no, I
So,
don't think
wait,
so. It's a
wait,
remake.
hold on, hold on,
Remakes
hold on,
don't
hold on,
usually do
hold on,
it. Yeah.
hold on, wait. I want to do a little like session right now. Okay. So you're telling me I'm in a different world where we have magic and I'm talking to a bracelet, and that is Forspoken. Thank you.
That was good. That was kind of funny.
That's it. That's
I didn't know you were
Forspoken.
going there.
Oh,
No,
jeez.
that's
Kind
it.
of funny.
Like you think there's more, but there's not. Like that's all. That's all it is. And scene.
And scene.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
So
excited to see that. I'm excited to see the spells because if you got
yeah.
the simple spells looking all badass, I want to see what the end spells are. I'm
See,
hoping they do something good.
here's
I
my
love
take
shit
on
like
it.
that.
No. So my take on it is that it's like Square. They're a good company, but they're a good company for Kingdom Hearts. They're a good company for fuck me. They're a good company
Final
for
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, right? They're a good company for all the products that they know, all name brands and games that they're fucking like part of. Yes, that's totally fine. But when it comes to them, and I feel like I mentioned this like last episode or if not the episode before, but when they want to branch out, they fucking fail miserably. My biggest one being Left Alive. It's just they've done so much shit, and even there are games that
Left
I'm like
Alive.
so surprised that are Square Enix that are so fucking bad. Mind Hack, that's one of them. What's the name of it? Is it Mind Hack or Mind Jack?
I can't
I
remember.
don't remember.
But either way, that one where you have the chance to invade the person in the game to take over a grunt and try to stop them, it didn't do well. Like Square Enix is not the kind of company that needs to branch out and do different things. Forspoken, it's a great concept. You know, you're from New York, fucking, you get thrown into something else. You're in a different world, even if it's the same world. You know what other game kind of did that shit? Fucking Avengers, which is
Well,
also a Square Enix
there are
game.
no
Oh wait,
original
wait, wait, wait,
ideas
wait.
anymore.
No,
You're always gonna do
of course
this.
not. We
Yeah.
ran out of original ideas when it came to
But
PS2,
but
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 when it
here,
came
but
to
here, hold on, wait. Here's
Forspoken,
the thing about Square
their
Enix. What Square
whole
Enix?
this is a new world I'm thrown into. Kamala Khan in Avengers, which Square Enix
Mhm.
did, and it was fucking terrible. And Kamala Khan was a redditor, and she's a fucking Mary Sue, and it is the worst fucking character ever fucking written. That I will die on this fucking molehill. I swear to God, she sucks. That game sucks. It's terrible. I hate it.
But
All the Avengers were
what
gloomy.
is Square Enix known for? What do they do best?
Final Fantasy
Story.
and Kingdom Hearts.
Story.
I just fucking said,
Storyline
dude.
RPGs.
When they
Stop. Storyline
wait,
RPGs.
when they
Xenogears. Xenosaga. Like, as much as
that
I
is
don't like,
when they were PS2, mid PS2 to early PS2 and PS1.
But
Square
they
Soft
still
but
did
that series is
they had
successful.
Xenoblade
Musashi.
Chronicles. It's cute and like yes, it's but overall, all their best games have been RPGs. So this is just another RPG. They just fuse an RPG.
That doesn't mean it's gonna fucking be good. They
I'm
have the
not, but
same fucking
yes,
writers
I'm not
apparently
saying it's
from
gonna. I'm
fucking
not saying
Marvel
it's gonna.
But
Avengers.
it's still possible
I'm not saying it's
that
gonna
it's
be good.
All
successful.
right,
I'm not saying it's
so
gonna be great. I'm saying
all
they
right.
have a better chance than they do using a Marvel IP. If you're creating it, when you're creating your own IP, when you're creating your own IP, it's always easier to be more creative than when you're having to play with somebody else's and follow their rules.
Yes and no, because the thing is that they were given the Marvel's license to make the Avengers game,
Hmm.
but they were also given the liberty to make their own fucking story. Now, you had your first
The
part
story
where
was
Kamala.
good.
The story was
Hold on,
good.
hold on, hold on. I want to poke my holes in this shit. I want to poke my holes in the condom. So you got young Kamala Khan. They got their original fucking tropes. So original, fucking just her with the bully, her with the dad, and then every Avenger decided to groom her. Where they're like, oh, we have special interest in you for some ungodly fucking reason. All right, cool. Bomb goes off. You play as the Avengers. Everything kind of progresses as such. Then you go to Kamala as she's older. How is it? Now, please answer me this. How is it that these writers thought that it would seem fit that this 2018, 19, 21, whatever fuck year old Redditor tried to hack into, quote unquote, hack into Tony Stark's kind of like whole database of things? And she had 3 attempts. The first two were bust, and the username was just Tony Stark. And she was like, what could the password be? So because she's such a fucking Avengers fan, she had a poster of Iron Man that said, I am Iron Man. So she was like, could that be it? She types in, I
Wait,
am
wait,
Iron
wait,
Man.
wait. So
No, hold on, wait. And then she gets access to all of
number
Tony
one,
Stark's.
number
She
one,
gets
no.
access to all of. You really think that
Number
Tony Stark
one,
would have I am Iron Man as
yes,
a fucking
that
thing?
was the point.
No,
The point is that he's
no.
full of himself. It's in his
Yes, he
character.
is. No, he is full of himself, but not to that degree that any fucking inbred halfwit could fucking figure the fuck out what the hell that is. I do get it. I do get it. But I cannot agree with it because there has to be this thing of just like, yes, he is egotistical. He is like, yeah, I'm Iron Man. I have nanomachines that could fucking help me and Spider-Man out and blah, blah, blah. I'm almost invincible, but not really. I have this glove that can take the gems out of Thanos' actual Infinity Gauntlet, and then I'll
You're
do my own
mixing all
snap.
these different lores
No,
from
no,
different things, though. This is
no, no,
their
no. But
own version
but
of their
this is the
world.
Marvel lore of everything else. If you want to actually put it tit for tat, when it's like this is who Iron Man is, you can't just fucking downgrade Iron Man. And then you want to
No, but
downgrade.
I am no, no.
Hold on.
I'm
Then
not
you want to
saying, but
downgrade
the
Bruce
Iron
Banner
Man
to Cameron
character.
fucking yeah. So no, Captain America. Yeah, we had this base. If you want to sleep here, you can. Uh. That's all Bruce Banner's character was. And then when he was Hulk, he fucking screamed. And then he had in the story, in actual story, he waited on Kamala's command to be the Hulk, where she's like, Hulk, smash. And then he decided to fight the Abomination. Like, dude, Square, Don't write anything that
It's
is not a
comics.
fucking
It's
property that you.
comics.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
And
I,
this
okay.
and
no,
this is
Again, when you
100%
play,
just,
that's
plausible.
what I. But
This
hold
is
on,
a
hold on,
hundred.
time
I
out, time
This
out.
get
is
that
a
it's
hundred percent
comics,
plausible to happen in the comics just as much as the video games.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. When you have to play with somebody's IP, you try to be what they do. So you try to make a comic book. They try to make a comic book movie game, whatever you want to call it. So they had to play in that world. You can't be super inventive with these characters. You can't all of a sudden make fucking Kamala Khan super genius person and fucking have a real fucking password and she better figure it out. You can't have Tony Stark not be a fucking non-integral asshole. Like you just can't
but
change him up. So you
but
have to
also
follow
like
suit to where these comics are.
he
Comic
wouldn't.
books,
No, but Tony Stark
all
wouldn't be
these
that fucking
comics.
stupid to have any fucking
Yes,
regular
the whole.
Joe figure out his fucking password.
Of
That they have
course,
a poster in their room. Do you
if
know
he
how
was
many
in real
other
life.
people, technically speaking, how many other people would have a stupid ass "I am Iron Man" poster in their fucking room? That anyone could possibly do that. It's like any average Joe could fucking do this. It pisses me off personally. Like I know it shouldn't. I really know it shouldn't. But it's just like it's so past the realm of plausibility, past the whole average Joe, average Mary Sue kind of ordeal. That it's like it's just bad writing. That's all you could fucking chalk it
But
up to. How can this
and
one
again,
person?
and
No, how can this one person that somehow out of this entire convention that the Avengers had got all the attention out of Thor, Cap, Black Widow, fucking Iron Man, even Bruce Banner. How can this one person have gotten all the fucking attention and figured out fucking Iron Man's password? It's these little things that are really irritating to someone that would like a full fleshed out story. Because I want more than just, oh, I'm just a fan and I figured it out. All
but
right,
no,
cool.
but
Fucking
I
the
think
problem
the
is
whole
the
point of a
show me
problem
fucking
comic
is
book
shit.
is suspension of disbelief, and like
exactly
you
so,
have to
and
have
you've
that in
gotten and
anything
Yes,
Marvel,
you've
because
gotten
anything
the whole
Marvel.
Marvel,
obviously,
but you
no,
have
for
the whole
sure.
Marvel world in your brain right now that
No,
everything
yes,
has to
yes,
be
yes, yes,
super
yes.
realistic
I
and possibility
understand
and
that.
everything like that.
Iron Man is full of
I
himself, but he will
disagree.
not.
I don't
No,
care
he
how
will.
outrageous and how goofy anything
I'm sorry, but
as long
it's.
as I'm just enjoying the ride.
I
But the
mean,
thing
the whole
is that.
concept,
But then also with
like,
the whole thing with Avengers is that I can't enjoy this ride of the story because the gameplay is also just as
Oh,
bad.
the game. Oh, yeah. I hated this game.
No, no, for
I hate
sure.
the Avengers.
So then that adds on top of it because the gameplay is absolute shit and the story is absolute shit and the writing is fucking garbage. It's like, what are you giving us except for fucking trash? And that's why I so hate the whole aspect of just I'm Kamala Khan, I'm a redditor, I can figure out what Tony Stark says before anybody else can. Do you know how many other people were on Reddit before Kamala Khan got her fucking powers? Like it's just it's so dumb. I can't agree with it. And Avengers has to be the most fucking mid game that I've ever fucking experienced. And that is with Kane and Lynch 2 being out on the fucking market still.
Oh my god, Kena Lynch.
Like that, I would rather play that fucking Idols game than fucking play Avengers because you can at least have fun with it with friends than listen to this fucking chick fucking go just like, oh, that's Abomination, fight him. Like you're Kamala explaining who the fuck these villains are when you have no idea what the fuck they've been fighting. I have very, 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 very strong feelings about this game, and I'm very sorry to go on a rant on this, but just like God fucking damn.
did you actually play it or I just saw it for the
I
clip?
hope you did.
I played it for a bit and I fucking hated it.
Yeah, same
It
here.
just none of it felt good. And God bless that someone let me play on their console so that I wouldn't have to buy this fucking garbage.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna end this right now.
Sorry again,
We're
guys.
going over 2 hours. Yeah, that's it. So thanks everybody for listening. This is episode 101. We'll see you next week, hopefully. And yeah, thanks for listening. Check out gamerguardians.net to check out all the other podcast episodes. You can also check out game reviews that I do for the Coalition as well. And we're also going to be on the Coalition website officially from now on. So where you can catch our podcast there as well. And on audio platform and on YouTube as well. And
that is Coalition with a K,
with a K.
being KOALITION.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Thanks for
Oh,
clearing
I
that
had
up.
no clue. It is actually true because I had no clue how to spell that one.
Oh, see, there you go.
There you go.
Fucking two of us do, but
Yeah.
the other one didn't.
So
And if you want to hear more of my rants, please join us for every weekly episode, because I will probably find something to bitch about, and I'm sorry if I deterred you.
We could do that as a segment. Randy's weekly rants.
Randy's
Randy's
rants.
rants. Randy's rants.
Ranty, if you will.
Ranty, that's good.
All right, guys. So we'll see you. Thank you guys for listening.
Have a good night.